Justin Allgaier wins the pole. 13th of his career, takes the inside lane. Brandon Jones, hungry, looking for his first win of the year to his right.
Yeah, we've seen that leader take the inside and the outside. It's kind of, let's learn as we go here. Allgaier's going to take the bottom to start with. We'll see how it works out for him, but we've seen the outside win plenty of these restarts.
Got Larson right behind him. Next to Larson on row 2, Connor Zilic, who won earlier this season at Bristol. It's 300 miles at Texas. Here we go in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
It's a great start by Justin Allgaier, but also Brandon Jones. What should win here for Allgaier is being on the bottom. Usually early in these races, just has all the grip. It takes a few laps to lay the rubber. Oh, Taylor Gray sideways.
Three wide, and here we go. Opening lap, we've got a crash.
Lock it down.
Corey Day, last week's winner, damaged race car, and the guy that got the checkered flag 2 weeks ago, Taylor Gray, sideways as well.
See William Swalch heading the wrong direction, trying to get spun around. That all started, saw Taylor get a little bit loose, and it looked like he was going to catch it.
We got hit.
What is it about these mile-and-a-halfs and early incidents? Had the same thing, that big crash at Kansas a couple of weeks ago.
Well, there's a lot of aero effects that happen that you don't really experience till you barrel off that first lap. You mentioned the grip difference from yesterday to today, a sunnier, hotter day, slicker racetrack, had the trucks race all last night. The other thing is, you know, I was mentioning the bottom just having so much more grip. This track, it's unique and it's changing, and we use the word sketchy, it's treacherous. And when you're not on that bottom groove early in these runs, when there hasn't been everything cleaned up, it really is a sketchy place to be. Let's take a listen to Corey Day's radio.
Did everyone else spin out there too?
They spun out behind you through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, ice.
Well, you hear him referencing how slick it was for him on the track. Let's take a look real quick at exactly what happened. See Taylor Gray, that was the first car we saw get loose, and you got to think these guys checking up that somebody maybe got in the back of someone else there. 3 wide. You see Sammy Smith inside of Taylor Gray.
But watch Corey Day here. He's up there just fighting on the outside. Brent Cruz, he's just a little high, and that's what we're talking about. It's so treacherous, this racetrack, because it just has moments where there's very little grip. He talks about hitting ice. It gets dirty outside the main groove, and it just, for whatever reason, takes time to clean it up. That's the same thing here for Taylor Gray and Carson Quapple there.
Well, we
they're
had
too high.
Two different instances here. We had some contact here with Carson Quapple and Taylor Gray. Corey Day just got too high, and the track flattens out. You mentioned it being dirty there, and you know you're going to wreck for a long time, as we see. Taylor had to check up just a little bit.
But I think part of what Taylor's trying to do there is not be that high.
Right,
so he's trying to crowd back down. He doesn't want to be up there. You have Carson Quapple who's trying to fill that gap but has nowhere else to go. He's 3 wide, and so you end up with 3 cars in the spot for 2.
State Water Heaters onboard camera riding with Jeb Burton.
Oh, Jeb.
Got to think there was maybe a little contact there with Swalich. Saw him get spun around as we're riding on board. Taylor Gray, you see him trying to catch it inside of the car.
Did a pretty good job, really hanging on to it.
He came out the best of all these guys involved in the wreck. I don't think there was any contact with the 54.
Didn't make it off of turn 2, lap 1, and already under caution at Texas. Allgaier gets the early advantage. Others doing damage repair just out of the gates in round 12. NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard, made fresh every hour and offering 54,000 treat combos to wow your taste buds. Visit Andy's today. The Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. And by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. In honor of Military Appreciation Month, GovX is proud to support those who serve our country and communities. If you have a military or first responder background, scan the QR code now for unbeatable deals on thousands of top brands. GovX, savings for those who serve. Early caution at Texas for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I referenced when we were racing on the 1.5 mile at Kansas a couple of weeks ago, we had the crash lap 2. We've had a caution in the first 2 laps of the last 4 races. This is what brought it out today, lap 1.
Corey Day just a hard hit in the outside wall there. Lost it, just getting too high, dirty air, all those things compounding.
Yeah, and the back of the car is what they're focused on, but what stuck out to me is I want you to watch how hard the right front hits. Bam, that slap into the wall. Most likely bent the upper A-frame. You see the right front smoking, not only is the body pushed in, but it's going to be a long day for the 17. A lot of damage. Sawalage, I think, Sawalage survived that. The 54, I don't think had any contact with anyone. These guys did a nice job getting slowed down. You mentioned Parker Retzloff having flashbacks of Kansas when Byron and Quapple got together. Look at the parts flying off the back of the 17.
Please stay there. Please stay there.
The Fentanyl-Free America onboard Cameron, he was having visions, I'm sure, of what happened a couple of weeks ago at Kansas when that early crash happened right in his lap.
It's an interesting look at those tethers working, holding that deck lid on.
Yep.
We've seen those be incorporated. A great job there.
What's going on, Kim?
Yeah, let's get an update on the 54. He did say the car feels okay, but Taylor upset after that incident, specifically with other drivers. Let's get the Starkey in-car communication from the 54. Take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like someone just drove into my left rear. I mean, already on edge and the second lane being free, and then it felt like someone just drove into my left rear. So if it's a 9, then he's got one coming, because that's the second time he's done that.
Well, this will be interesting because guess what? It was the 9.
Yeah, well, but I think they're both at fault there in some respects. And here's my point is that Taylor ended up higher than he wanted to be, exactly what didn't want to be in the situation Corey Day was. He was trying to squeeze back down and not even giving a full groove there. He was trying to, get back down the track. Carson was already there. So, of course, he drove his left rear.
What lap are we on?
Yeah, it was early.
Okay.
Lap 1. Here we are through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Completing lap 6 as we go to the green flag. Front row was Larson with Allgaier, but 7 gets the jump in that inside lane.
Well, you got to think they're going to be a little more careful through turns 1 and 2 this time.
Larson just went a little too high there.
Yeah. Brandon Jones able to slide up in front of Kyle Larson. You see 3 wide now. This will get sketchy as we get down into turn 3.
What's going to give? Connor
look at Brent Cruz.
Oh, my.
Gosh.
What a save.
Wow.
That is so impressive. It's hard to describe how difficult that is and how at some point in that slide he definitely thought game over.
Good start to this race for Austin Hill. What about the 32 Raja Caruth inside the top 10?
Well, you see all these. Oh, no. Austin Green.
Fresh off a top 10 finish at Talladega. And Mason Maggio in the 91 going around as well. I think the line.
At some point, we're going to have to slow down just a little bit here.
I think my line in the opening laps at Texas last year is we just can't get this thing going, no rhythm, and here we are again.
One thing to point out, everybody's fighting to get to the bottom. The top of the racetrack is very slick right now, and in practice yesterday, we saw guys migrate, trying to work towards the top. Some of that is because there's a little bit of residual traction compound around the top that guys chase trying to get to. But right now, it just looks like the top of the track. And we heard Taylor Gray reference it, or I'm sorry, Corey Day reference, it just felt like he was on ice. The top of the track just not having any grip.
I think they're all getting the message. Message is being delivered in a certain way here, which is do not go to the top right now. It is not there.
When you see, is there going to be a little bit of contact right here with Josh Williams? I don't know if there
Josh
was.
went up the track.
Yeah, Josh went up, but it didn't look like there was contact, but it doesn't take much at all in order to push you all the way around. We heard Taylor Gray kind of reference, like, look, I'm already on edge. Get a better view here. It's a little too late to see exactly how much contact there was between those two.
Mason just caught him.
Wow.
That is unfortunate. We got
Whoa,
a close
whoa,
call.
whoa,
Oh, boy.
whoa, whoa.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
I mean, hey, when the pace car's got to take evasive action.
I mean, what is the start of this race? Wow. That's a first.
Well, yeah, there's a first for everything.
Apparently.
We need some Starkey radio from the pace car.
Yeah.
Because you know what he said? What?
I believe he'll be having a call to the hauler and the spotter later today.
Let's go 87 team radio. The slide began with Austin Green.
Did you hit anything? Anybody hit you? Oh, just flat tire. Yeah, that's all right. You got clipped by the dump side. Get it rolled.
Well, so they definitely feel like there was some contact there. It was really hard for us to tell with the angles, but I will say typically spotters will take your side in all of those instances, whether they're 100% sure or not, but it seems like the 92, I got into him just a little bit.
We had 3 cautions in stage 1 last year. Already 2 today, and we're not even 10 laps in. So many things happening in the first portion of the race here at Texas for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Parker Retzloff is driving with a special paint scheme here today, partnering with the United States Drug Enforcement Administration in support of Fentanyl Free America campaign. Parker is using this car to help raise awareness about a virus that has impacted families all across the country. Join us to help achieve a Fentanyl Free America. Learn more at dea.gov/fentanylfree.
Parker's just wanting to run some green flag laps here so he can see exactly what he has.
And a slow start in recent weeks. Talked about what happened at Kansas, lap 2.
This was incredible. You see Carson Kvapil with contact from Byron, then goes up and over.
Yeah,
massive wreck on the second lap.
Who was the car that was hitting him there? That was Retzloff that knocked him up into the air, basically. Then we had the early incident here, Patrick Starpoli at Talladega.
And here we had 2 wrecks today. We had Corey Day just in front of this, and then a pair of Gibbs cars going for a ride, Sawalich and Gray. Both of those guys able to continue on, though. We'll get another shot at it and see if we can go.
By the way, Corey Day is out, and that is huge for a guy that won last week, came in top 5 in the points. Allgaier inside lane, restart just past lap 10, stage 1.
Pay attention to these guys on the outside. We saw everybody fighting to get to the inside. The top has been extremely slick at the start of this race. You can see the lack of grip, the bottom row just slowly advancing forward through the middle of the corner.
Tiptoeing through turn 2 this time.
That top's gonna come in though. It's gonna have to get cleaned off, get the rubber picked up. The top will be good. It was good yesterday in practice on older tires, but right now the bottom is the place to be.
Yeah, Zilich, who started there on the outside of the front row, falls back to 4th, just to show you how detrimental it is to be out there this early on. You see Brent Cruz a little bit up right there, most likely gonna wanna get back down if he can clear Sheldon Creed.
Sheldon's gonna fill that hole though.
Oh yeah.
You see right here, it looks like his teammate Sam Mayer right behind him, trying to break the side draft with Austin Hill on his outside.
And you don't want to be
wide.
here.
You don't want to be there.
3 wide is
Oh,
no
no.
good. 24, Harrison Burton making a play. Inside of the 8 is Sammy Smith. Arby's onboard camera, that was Carson Quapple with a front row seat.
Well,
Did you see how all those cars were wiggling around?
We could have seen Carson Quapple's hands in the middle of that. He was hanging on, getting moved around everywhere. He's now stuck on the outside. Hear him not able to get to the throttle right there.
There you go. Good corner, man.
Hey, we made it around.
Brent Cruz taking a massive arc down into turn 3, able to slide down in front of Sheldon Creed.
Both these drivers eligible for the dash for cash today. The best of the bunch right now with Day out. Really down to 3 drivers going for the big payout.
Look at that. Parker having to really wheel that car, turn into the right when you're trying to make a left-hand turn. Watch him kind of relax his fingers here on the straightaway because you're going to have a death grip when you get down to the middle of turns 3 and 4.
That's his teammate racing with him, 96, Anthony Alfredo.
And I was just going to say, each week it sounds like we're praising Viking Motorsport. And once again, look at 2 of their cars just here outside and right into the top 10. Just really impressive what this race team continues to do week after week.
Tell you what, the 96 of Alfredo can take a huge arc down into turn 1, and that pays big dividends on the exit because you have a better angle. Saw Corey Day get just a little bit high and loose there. You want to exit that corner as low as you can. That's where the grip is going to be.
And there's a fine balance here too, because of the way this track is shaped and how wide it is. You can have a massive arc into 1 and it will feel like you're going to have the best exit ever, but if you can't get to the actual bottom, there's so much distance. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Brad Perez already had contact, then another hard hit into the wall. Caution number 3, and we've not even reached lap 20. 45, LeVar Scott, and another slide for Austin Green in the 87.
What is going on here? Brad maybe just got a little loose
off of
on the
4,
exit
I
of 4.
believe.
Cars are all on edge. I think Austin Green was just kind of an innocent victim in this. Had that spin earlier, had to go to the back. He's going to get caught up in...
I have to think there is a lot of teams and drivers right now that are very much looking forward to the first opportunity to get on pit road and make some adjustments, because it seems like every one of these cars is so out of the racetrack, sideways, lacking right rear grip, just balancing on a knife edge.
Well, the temp's just so much hotter today. Well, yesterday it was overcast and 65 degrees. Today it's almost 10 degrees hotter. Yeah, 73 degrees outside today, and with the sun being on the track, that probably plays as big of a factor as just the overall heat.
Yeah, so here's Brad up top of the screen. You see he's just loose already right there. Then comes down in Austin Green.
Oh, this is huge right here. This quad oval, that angle.
Really vicious hit.
Gosh, look at the back of that car come off the ground.
And such a shame for Brad, who gets such limited starts, works so hard to get these opportunities to be in these race cars, does a great job on social media, works multiple jobs, puts it all together. And to have this happen, usually you don't hear about Brad Perez wrecking race cars.
Oh, Jeb is so lucky. Dylan referenced it in the start of the show. You cannot go through the grass. We saw last night in the Truck Series How many guys got the entire front of their car ripped off? Watch Austin Green right there. You see that catch. It's part of having natural grass on the infield of these tracks. Cars, the splitters are just right on the ground. I kind of compare it to like a fishing lure, a deep diving one. And when it catches the grass, it bites.
Look at all that debris that just gets thrown out on the racetrack. You go back to last night, you referenced the truck race. In that area of the track, even wetter last night because of the rains yesterday. And Grant Enfinger just dug in, and nothing you can do.
It's like hitting a wall. When you can, and you know, it's almost like getting hit and not seeing it coming because you think you're just going to glide through the grass, and when it bites, it's like hitting a wall.
And Justin Haley had it happen to him last night as well. There was a photo of him at 5 feet in the air. It's just insane.
They went to the local sod farm.
Yeah, well, that's a
we're
brown
repairing
sod,
race
apparently.
cars, and we have repaired the grass here on the infield as well. Let's get 42 Team Radio, Brad Perez and his group.
I'm fine. Man, damn it. Sorry, guys. Dude, I don't know. It just snapped, man. I don't know.
Well, it's happened to about 5 of you today, Brad,
Yeah.
so don't feel bad. It's just track and fast, and you said treacherous. We heard the guys yesterday say sketchy, and that's why. It would reach up, and it's bit a lot of them.
There you see the 17 car idle in the garage. Let's hear from driver 17, down to Dylan.
Yeah, the garage area, unfortunately, to start this race has been a busy place already. Corey Day is out of the infield care center. How easy is it to just overstep and ultimately end your day like so many guys have done already?
Yeah, I mean, you're just so on edge at this place, and I think it's, the Cup guys just got done all qualifying around the bottom, so you start on the outside, you got to run up there the first corner, and I don't know if I didn't feel like I was much faster through the corner than the guys in front of me, but yeah, I was, all good, and then all of a sudden I'm sideways, and there's just no saving it coming off at 2 like that. So yeah, I just hate it for my 17 guys. We had such a good car yesterday, and for me to go ruin it like that on lap 1 of the race I just feel terrible. So thank you to HendrickCars.com and Mr. H and everyone at Hendrick Motorsports. I'm gonna, go see if I can have a better idea of what I did wrong there to not ever do that again.
Thanks for your time. Bummer way to end it for sure for Corey Day in the 17.
Highs and lows of motor racing. You're going to have a lot of those, but I would tell Corey Day, don't beat yourself up too much, because we could make a highlight reel hours long of the people that have done exactly what he has done on the exit of turn 2. It's a tough corner, and until it bites you once, you really just don't know what to expect.
A lot of time under caution today. Justin Allgaier has led the first 20 laps, and this move was key to get number 7 ahead of the curve, take the top spot, and he has been in control, leading laps here at Texas in the last 4 races.
Men, get ahead of your curve.
The fastest growing cable news network in all of television is News Nation. News Nation respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com. Under caution here at Texas, let's go to the CW Garage and Carla Metz.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Well, Brandon Jones has 3 wins on a 1.5 mile tracks, and with all 3 of those, he has started on the front row. He'll have another opportunity after rolling off today, P2, and still holding position, but he's going to have to get by these Cup guys. And he said, yeah, they do things during a race that make you scratch your head, but he also said they also have a greater chance of not executing the little things with their lack of reps. He said, but they are beatable. They just have to make a mistake. And I'll also add, they've got to survive today's race with all the cautions we've seen so far, Kim.
Well, Carla, it's been a dicey start to the race for the field. So what does one of the best at Texas think? Here's Starkey in-car communication from Justin Allgaier.
It's a knife edge like the first year we came here. It's just weird how treacherous it is today. You kind of get a little bit of fool's gold yesterday with it being 50 degrees cooler track temp. You got all that grip, and then you want to free up, and now you try to go up there and there's nothing. You're probably not wrong. I mean, my balance is definitely looser than it was yesterday to fire off with.
And then crew chief Andrew Overstreet saying to his driver, might be the middle of stage 2 before that top lane gets going. And Justin said, no. At this point, it might be the middle of the final stage before we can use that top lane.
Interesting to see. Larson takes the outside right here. And, you know, the one thing about you heard Justin referencing there, and the spotter and the crew chief's all talking about, is it's only 10 degrees hotter today, but because of the overcast yesterday, they said it's something like 50 degrees track temp, which is massive difference. The balance of these cars is a lot different.
Yeah, I
Look at that.
I saw this. I thought,
Well,
I didn't know if my eyes deceived me or not, but I feel like Larson's also crowding down.
100%.
He
He's
wants-
crowding down,
yep.
and then Allgaier's like, no. I want you up there where it's a little bit treacherous.
And these two, they have a bit of history on restarts in terms of Larson having a ton of respect for Allgaier's restart ability and thinking he's one of the best, but they like playing these games against each other.
But Jones gives up the front row because he wants to be on the inside lane, puts Larson out there, and they're still snug as they can be.
Pace car.
He's literally trying to force him down.
World?
This is wild.
This is such a bizarre
I know
deal.
what he's doing. I know why he's doing it.
The field is set for the Echo Park Restart Zone, Echo Park Automotive, where car buying is easier, better, and happier. This might be the restart of the day. Pay attention. Allgaier, Larson up front.
And Justin referenced it. He's like, I know why he's doing it. He's trying to crowd him down to get in the good part of the track. 7 got a great jump right there, though. It's going to be really hard for Larson to hang on the outside. You see, he side grabs him.
Look at Zilich coming up the middle there. Now he dives down to the inside. Zilich around Jones. Cruz around the outside as Allgaier gets away with a race lead.
Yeah, it didn't work for him, though. Allgaier got away big time.
Yeah, Zilich had a massive run off turn 2. Kyle just could not put the power down on the outside. Going to pay the penalty right here.
Keep in mind, Zilich is learning this track too. Broke his back last year, didn't race at Texas. Larson was filling in, so got to practice yesterday. But the one car with Zilich running laps competitively for the first time.
Man, the trajectory there for Brent Cruz, that's not a way you want to see a car going through turns 1 and 2. He definitely had a big moment down there. Even when you're on the preferred line, I can tell you can see how loose he is. That car's just bouncing and wiggling a little bit. You are, as we go on the GovX onboard, you're just hanging on, and the right rear just feels like it's on a knife edge. And even when you're on the preferred line, when the car goes, it just takes off the track. Look at that wiggle he just had.
Yeah, all these drivers are going to be lined up at Anthony Alfredo's hauler afterwards to get some dude wipes to clean up the issue that they have got going on inside of the car. None of these cars look stable. You mentioned about Brent Cruz. We saw the moment in turns 1 and 2. And now he's going to go ahead and choose to run that second line. Interesting. Heard everybody trying to fight to get to the bottom. Car just evil.
Yeah. Joe Gibbs Racing has been unbelievable here. Oh, look at the wiggle. Mayer getting down there in a 41. Won this race 2 years ago in dramatic fashion and needs some love in 2026. They've had a lot of problems early in the campaign.
Brent's able to hang on really good on the outside for as rough as it's been on the outside. Maybe it's slowly starting to come along, and we heard all the guys talk about the Cup drivers qualifying on the bottom. The reason the bottom is better is because they pick the rubber up, and so it has more. It's not necessarily that the top is bad, it's just that the bottom has so much more grip because that's where the Cup cars qualified. But that will balance out here as they run around. They'll lay the rubber back down to the bottom. As you see now, the 19 working the top of the racetrack.
Well,
wow, great move right there to the outside.
And you know what? Sometimes when there's a massive opportunity when no one wants to go in that lane, and you can find something like he has to drive around others because it's a lane to yourself. And to think we're on lap 4 of this run, the longest run is 6 laps. We have not had a lot of time to lay down that rubber.
Teammates for position here. 8 is Sammy Smith, 9 is Carson Quapple. They're racing for 20th on track. Watch his hands as we get the Arby's onboard camera.
You're by 2 a lane higher. You're good by 2.
Oh, and you can see him as he throttled up, starting to turn to the right, that bounce, that car being loose. He gave a little wave to his teammate, Sammy Smith, right there. Felt like he didn't race him very hard, which, based on what we've seen so far today, I think is a great decision by the 8 car. Oh, he overshot that corner.
Dirty air up there ahead of him with the 2 cars side by side. He lost the nose.
See if Sammy gets back to his inside down into turn 1. I'd want to know about the 19 being able to make that top work if I was any of the other drivers, especially in the position that Carson, who we're riding on board with right now, he's quite a ways back, so he's not going to be able to see what the 19 had been doing. But knowing that somebody's been able to make the top work, I'd want to know that, so I would have it in the back of my head if I wanted to use it.
William Sawalich making some gains. He was a part of that early incident. Not much damage there. 18 gets around Raja Caruth. Sawalich, who won at Rockingham, is now 17th, and there's Ryan Segan, the 39, making up ground. Remember, after qualifying in the top 10, unapproved adjustments, had to drop to the rear. Great track for him. He's climbing to the front.
Interesting enough, as bad as we've built the outside to be, almost all the passes that we're seeing right now are because everybody's on the bottom and the car is able to roll up on their outside.
Reference Sieg plus 17 as we look at our Powerball power movers. What about his younger brother Kyle plus 10 and LeVar Scott plus 11? Remember, he too was sideways during one of those cautions we had early.
It's like if you're brave enough to go out there and make it and find a way to make it work, it's a huge opportunity to be able to make up some time. But I still think it's a fine line of how high you can go and where you really utilize it. And if you watch Brent Cruz there, some of what he was doing was almost cheating. It's about a groove and a half up and then turning back down, almost diming the corner a little bit to get to the bottom lane on exit. So it's not a full groove, but it's definitely there if you're brave enough.
Well, there's Carlos Pick. He is checked out today. 3 seconds lead, you mentioned it. Haven't had that long of a green flag run here, and the 7 of Allgaier is just gone right now.
Well, you saw the stat there. He's led 33 laps today, going to be 34 here. Led them all from the pole. He's over 600 in his career at Texas Motor Speedway. And even though he hasn't won here, Allgaier has an incredible resume at this place. When you talk about the laps led that we just referred to, he was a runner-up here a number of years ago, but on a run of top 5 finishes in the last 10 races. He's been really, really consistent at this racetrack, getting stage victories and so on.
Well, that car you see right behind Brandon Jones, the white and orange or white and red, number 19 of Brent Cruz, that's the 2nd fastest car on the racetrack. Very comparable times, actually a little quicker even than what our leader Justin Allgaier ran. So he's gonna have to get a little track position. I think they're gonna have to make that car fire off a little bit better. It looked like he was too loose to start with. The one thing to keep in mind is that as bad as we've heard all these guys handling, someone's going to hit on this pit stop, and someone's going to miss it on that, and that's really going to shake this up. So just because we see Justin to him after we get that round of pit stops.
Cruz looking inside of his teammate. Nothing there. Jones hangs on to the 4th spot. I think about Cruz, though, Parker, running 5th. You know, he's finished top 5 in the last 3 races. He's also been able to get some stage points. He's made up 46 points to the cut line. Missed those 4 races. We knew making the chase was going to be challenging for him, but he's doing everything he needs to do and delivering once again today, maxing out on the points meter.
He has, and the team knew they'd done the math. They felt like they had to get 30 points a race. They've started to exceed that. I think that's, you know, it's all fine to pay attention to, but what really sticks out to me is this right here. We're a treacherous track. We've had guys wreck. We had last week's first-time winner wreck on the first lap. And here's a young kid who has never seen anything like this until Kansas, and probably one of the most treacherous versions of a 1.5 miles, and is just taken to it immediately. Was the first to the top side to make that work, and has consistently been one of the top 5 fastest cars over the last few laps. This ability to just be up to speed so quickly is what I've been so impressed with Brent Cruz.
Yeah, and the track is slowly starting to widen out, especially down in turns 1 and 2. If you watch these guys, Jones, the last lap through, you're going to have some lap traffic right here, so it's going to change up the line a little bit. But they've all started working just a little bit higher through 1 and 2. It hasn't quite gotten there in turns 3 and 4 yet, but track is coming along, getting closer and closer to what they had yesterday.
Raja Cruz starting to fade just a little bit. We talk about Brent Cruz and his situation in regard to trying to climb into a chase position. Raja Cruz came in on the chase bubble, 12th, and he's been going back and forth between the 32 for Jordan Anderson Racing, 88 driving for Junior Motorsports.
Gosh, did you hear how slow they were going through? I mean, they're right on the edge of wrecking, but when you listen to the engine and the RPMs, they are going so slow through turns 1 and 2 right now, the pace being so far off.
Well, and to add to that 3 and 4, I saw him using brake in 3 and 4. And just to put that into context, just a couple years ago, in qualifying here in an O'Reilly car, you possibly were thinking about doing it flat out. This track has lost an immense amount of grip. It is continuing to lose grip, and then on a hotter day like this and how all these cars are set up, this has become a real corner. It was the same way last night in the Truck Series for the first time. You couldn't go through there flat out the entire run. You had to lift. You had to find clean air. It's amazing how this racetrack is starting to change.
Well, the hardest corners are the ones that you think you can kind of run wide open through, but you can't quite. It's the most challenging. Just listen to that throttle and his lack of being able to put it down and watching the car slide around.
4 to go, stage 1, Allgaier leading by 3.1 seconds.
Then half a lane up down here, they're working in also. Unless they're catching me, I'm good. They are not catching you, I'm just telling you that crew is starting to come in. Copy, thank you, let me know when they start to. 10-4.
I want nothing to do with, I'll take the bottom right now. I'm content.
I like that. That's a veteran right there. Hey, that's cool for them. I'm going to keep running here and keep my massive lead. Don't worry about it.
Teammates here, Haas factory team in their Alliance cars, really good in practice yesterday. 00 Sheldon Creed 6th, on board Sam Mayer in 7th right now.
See both of these guys. Oh,
look how high he is.
Wow, he is working high. You see though, look at the run. He's going to build on the exit right here. See if he decides to take that or if he's going to run high in 3 and 4 as well. Sam's been able to find a little bit of grip there, but 3 wide's never good at this place.
Oh no.
Jesse Love had worked his way to the top 10. He's going to fall to 12th here. Retzloff making a rally late in the stage in the 99 and gives some love to Kyle Sieg. Top 15 on the 1.5 miles at Las Vegas. And with 2 to go stage 1, he's 11th, doing really good things in the 28. Another one of those HFT Alliance cars.
And that battle there, just trying to get a stage point, is one of the most fierce battles you'll find yourself in any particular race. At a place like this, a treacherous and very jumbled up first stage, when you get to the last few laps trying to get just a stage point, I can tell you it's some of the most intense racing you'll have.
Josh Bilicki goes a lap down, but he'll be in the free pass position. Final lap, opening stage. Allgaier has just been in command and dominant. He just didn't worry about the restarts, nothing.
He just blasted by 3 of them in one corner.
He did.
It looked like he had new tires and they didn't.
It's going to be his 8th stage win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Justin Allgaier back to the green and white checkered flag. The championship leader continues his domination in 2026. Zilich and Larson 2nd and 3rd. Brandon Jones gets good stage points in 4th. The same for Brent Cruz in 5th. 3 cautions in the opening stage. None of it bothers Justin Allgaier, who has now won stage 1 at Texas in 4 consecutive races.
What are you going to hold up, Tom?
Stage 1 complete in the Andes Frozen Custard 340 at Texas. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live on CW. Glad you're with us. Let's head to the Arby's Pit Box and Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, back on the Arby's pit box before we'll see the first stops of the day. And there was one team that had pit stops on the top of their concern list, and that's the 41 of Sam Mayer. I talked to crew chief Jason Trincherry this morning, and he said they had a last-minute change to their roster. Their regular front changer, Thomas Hacker, was actually injured this morning, and so filling in Corey DeMarco is jumping in that spot. Now, he's been a part of the sport for a long time. He pits a truck. He also manages all of Ryan Sieg Racing's pit crew stuff. So the concern there is not about his abilities. It just so much goes into the choreography of these pit stops. Jason said, look, I have all the trust in Corey. It's just working as a team, especially for the first stop of the day.
You know, we talk so much about the importance of pit road every week. It's so big at Texas because of the role that track position plays here. You want to be in control. So got to execute here. Progressive pit road is open. Pit stops following stage 1. Dylan Welch leads us off.
Connor Zilic, very first pit box there at the head of pit road. He was 2.5 to 3 numbers too tight. They'll change 4 tires and make adjustments to help him. Kyle Larson also said he was extremely tight loaded. My front tires don't work. They'll make adjustments too to loosen him up, Kim.
You see stage 1 winner Justin Allgaier at the bottom of your screen. He said neutral entry tight across the middle. They'll just make a small air pressure adjustment on those 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel kind of got angled in a little weird on the box there, though.
And now we get to the race off Progressive pit road. Looks like Allgaier's going to hold serve here. He will. Zilic comes out right behind him. Top 4, top 5, top 6 all maintain their position. And the RCR cars getting a nice jump. +1 for Hill, +4 for Jesse Love. With the passing of Alex Zanardi, the racing world has lost a champion, hero, and role model who faced every challenge with an unwavering spirit. He was fearless and talented on the track, competing in Formula One, kart, IMSA, and World Touring Car Championship. He endeared himself to everyone he encountered. When personal tragedy struck, he refused to let it define him, turning every challenge into a lesson in courage, dignity, and strength. Alex showed us all how to live a truly meaningful life. Alex Zanardi was 59 years old. NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by Golden Corral. Golden Corral honors our nation's heroes. Progressive Insurance. Get in the savings lane today. Visit progressive.com. And by Toyota. Let's go places. All saddled up, ready to go. Stage 2 for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series at Texas Motor Speedway here in Fort Worth. Always love going down to the stockyards.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Nice throwback.
And Jamie's favorite barbecue place.
Yeah, Hard 8.
That's what. Yeah,
that's where the drivers.
We heard that
where
on
all the drivers go.
race. That's all they talked about.
If
That's
you go to
actually
Texas,
not down at the stockyard.
no, it's not.
No.
I didn't say it was. Parker did.
I thought it was. I was totally wrong.
Yeah, that's good. That's a nice ad lib. State Water Heaters onboard camera. Jeb Burton having some problems. Couple of laps down. Got just a little bit of that crash on lap 1. Truck Series winner here and was top 10 in this race a year ago.
Well, I tell you what, if he just keeps it rolling and the way this race is started, he's got a good shot and a good finish.
Josh Bilicki did get the free pass when the caution came out to end the stage. Front row, Allgaier and Zilich. Zilich going for, Allgaier going from the inside lane as we head to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone.
And that outside is going to be a little bit better here. We saw guys migrating, especially in turns 1 and 2. We'll see. Justin got a great restart there.
Oh, look at Austin Hill.
Yeah.
Threw it to the inside there. Brent Cruz, that's what you have to protect.
Look at Connor on the outside. I think Allgaier's going to be 3 wide by Larson. Got to his inside. Larson's actually going to be in the lead when they get to turn 3.
Allgaier had led every lap until now. His teammates attack him on the restart. Zilich getting by. Larson gets by both of them. 88 on point.
Wow, the 88. Great adjustment. Great restart right there. I thought Connor was going to be in the preferred position. It just looked like the 7 could not go, as now he's under fire from Brent Cruz in the 19.
And he's really in the top lane for the first time here today. Remember, they told him about it. He hadn't used it, but he fends off there Brent Cruz on the outside and now puts the sight set on those 2 that got by him.
And Zilich had a good 1 and 2, had a big run down the backstretch. As you see now, he's working to the inside of Larson, going to be underneath him here on the exit of 4.
For the lead, teammates at Junior Motorsports. The 1 is Zilich, 88 is Larson.
Yeah, and the one thing we heard from both of these guys on the pit stops is that they were too tight. And that was really the only 2 cars I heard say tight. Everybody else was screaming loose, but great battle right here between those 2. Larson does not want to give up the clean air.
And if you're in Zilich's position there, he lost some positive momentum down into 3. That's a tough place to be. You lose the side force on the outside. That gives Larson all the leverage, but he's able to stick just there. Now he'll try to side draft a little bit, and now brings Justin Allgaier into the fray as well. If you're Zilich, you got to overdrive this corner right here to clear him.
See Kyle going to try to maintain that top. We saw on older tires how good that was. The 7 not good on the restart, but looks to me like the 7 cars now got the wheels underneath him.
Well, the fact that he can hang there in dirty air is impressive, right? Because we saw once he got the lead in the opening stage how he was able to pull away. Teammates going at it here. 1, 2, 3 Junior Motorsports, 4 and 5 Joe Gibbs Racing, and 18-year-old Brent Cruz up to 4th in the running order. On board Sam Mayer looking for some in the outside lane.
Yeah, and Sam likes the top of 1 and 2. We saw him be the highest car in stage 1, able to make a lot of speed on the top, but the 19 being there in front of him.
It'll get there for you. As we slow down, that line up there will come in real well like it did before.
That Sam Mayer spotter pointing out exactly what we were saying right there. He was able to make the top work. The pace slow down just a little bit. We'll see if he can get to the outside of Brandon Jones now. I think he's going to let Brandon have the bottom. Well, no. Going to get to his inside.
I'd like to head there now.
Listen to the throttle.
Wow.
Man.
Just playing with it. Wanted to commit, couldn't, then finally gets back to full throttle.
Got to commit, you can't play. Yep.
Riding on board with Sam Mayer, it's time to go full throttle with Sound Gear. Wherever sound is a problem, Sound Gear has the solution. Scan the QR code to learn more at soundgear.com. Turn it up. First 15 laps, stage 2, very competitive at Texas for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Mayer not done with Brandon Jones.
That's been his move, though. We've watched this throughout the race. He's been able to get to the outside. That car's underneath him.
Parker Retzloff right in their hip pocket. Good start to the day for the 99.
I think Mayer's great in turns 3 and 4, but he is extremely good on the exit of turn 2.
And if you're in Brandon Jones' position, when you're already in the top lane and your spotter's going to the outside, you're going,
there's no way.
How? How is he there? What? I'm already up here. So that's so frustrating. But it's a lesson you're going to have to learn to say, okay, if he can go there, maybe I have to try that at some point.
Hey, look down at the bumper. 10th, Ryan Sieg from the back. Tough to get stage points here when you don't have track position, but he has put himself in position to get some stage points here in stage number 2. 17 laps into the second stint of the race. Zilich leads Larson, Allgaier, Cruz, and Mayer at Texas. Caution out for the 5th time in the Andes Frozen Custard 340 at Texas. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live on CW. And the reason for the caution, all the debris. Where did it come from? 2013 champ Austin Dillon, who was outside the top 20, had a tire issue.
It was the left front that came apart on Austin Dillon's car. As you see him coming down the backstretch here, you're going to see the debris kind of go everywhere because this tire basically well, it just rips everything out of the car right there. It was corded when we saw it come off during the break there. And so yesterday, actually, in the truck race, we had this happen in the first 20 laps. We had a caution came down. Those tires turned out to be corded. So we talk about this place being treacherous. It's sketchy. It's also abrasive right now, and it can be really abrasive to the front tires and just whatever you're fighting. You know, I assume with this 3-car, RCR has done this in the past where sometimes they bring a 3rd car out there as an R&D car. I assume possibly they probably have a pretty aggressive setup in this car, want to just learn things and see what they can find with Austin Dillon. But that's just in 20 laps to have a left front cord. That's crazy.
He really got pretty lucky for that tire disintegrating. Normally it rips all the fenders, the bodywork off, and we saw some debris come out from underneath it, but
well, all the
really
ducks,
got pretty lucky.
The ducks are gone.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Caution comes out halfway through our second stage. Everyone should have 3 sets of tires You know, I think it's a little early to flip it here,
agree.
but this is a very, unique racetrack, and there you see all those guys up inside the top 10 driving by. That's what I would have expected, but I have been surprised before. So everybody waiting a little longer to pit. Connor Zilic has led laps in 6 of his last 7 starts on 1.5 mile tracks, and he's out front now. Andy's Frozen Custard has been serving the world's finest frozen custard for 40 years. And to celebrate, you can get a $1 small cone at participating locations on Monday, May 4th. If Sam Mayer finishes inside the top 5 today, or Cole Custer finishes inside the top 5 tomorrow, visit eatandys.com for details. Let's head over to CW Garage and Carla.
Thanks, Adam. Well, it's been a rough go. That's how Sam Mayer summarized his season to me this week. In a year where he felt like he should have had at least 2 wins, he said we've really only been able to execute about that many races. He said it's not from a lack of speed, though. It's just been little things. A wrong push last week, a blown motor, ran out of gas at Vegas. He now comes to a place he has 4 top 10s in the last 5 visits, including that win back in 2024. He said, I tend to do better at these faster type racetrack. He's hoping that leads to a win today. But guys, they've got something else on their mind during this race. Let's check in with team radio for the 41 right now.
If the race is going to be long like this and it's hot, what do you think the chances are of getting DoorDash some Andy's Frozen Custard up here for me in Houston?
Yeah, let me know. I know a guy. I mean, let me know what you want. I have a couple connections I can do for you.
Yeah.
Why do you need DoorDash? They got those treat trucks all around.
That's right.
He told us. They're all over the place.
I will say I'm going to do my part in supporting today's sponsor. And when we're all wrapped up, I'm definitely going to Andy's. Nice little concrete.
I would like some. They've sold me. They literally, it's all the marketing has worked. At least for one customer, and that's me right here in the booth.
I would have lost this bet, but there's someone else in this booth who said recently they went to Andy's.
Yeah, I've been there twice in the last month. That and Cookout.
If people only knew how rare that is to know you had sugar and sweets and something
Andy's,
that tastes good.
It was delicious.
More just a nuts guy sort of thing.
Connor Zilic in control. Leader's taking the inside lane all day today. That's where the one will be. Allgaier to his right. These two drivers have combined to lead 68 laps today as they head to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. We'll get 19 laps to go in stage 2.
See, Allgaier gets a little bit loose on the initial launch right there. Brent Cruz giving big shove to Zilic out in front. Zilic out to block a little bit down into one.
Sam Mayer
tried.
Thinking about it, and he's driving right down the middle.
Mayer in good position right there. They're going to be in 4th as they exit turn 2. Got a little race for 2nd with Brent Cruz inside of Allgaier.
Brent Cruz comes here looking for the dash for cash on a run of top 5 finishes. Never been to Texas, and he is showing out. Mayer making it 3 wide.
And it just got real. Wow, that was tight. It got really uncomfortable there with Sam sideways through the tri-oval. Awesome racing here in car control by these 3. Racing super close.
Mayer hanging on to it, little loss of momentum. Allgaier trying to take advantage in that outside lane. 7 back to 2nd.
Well, and there's a draft down the backstretch. Being in that outside lane, you'll have a little bit of an advantage. All those cars lined up. See, Allgaier sent it down into turn 3. Going to wash up the racetrack just a little bit. Oh, Sam is loose on the exit of turn 4.
Need that GovX onboard camera replay. Him hanging on, the hands were working.
These 3 are just throwing haymakers at each other there, sliding all over the place, cutting each other off, trying to control the air for the car behind them. Just awesome to watch. They finally all slot in single file eventually.
What about Brandon Jones sliding into line right in front of Parker Retzloff? That was a moment off of 2.
See, Retzloff missed the bottom right there. Got down a little too early, washed up a little bit on the exit of the corner, lost a little bit of momentum as Larson is now back to the inside of Sam Mayer. We'll take another look at this. Mayer getting to the inside of Brent Cruz. Oh, Allgaier maybe didn't know they're 3 wide. Awesome racing.
And if you want to know why drivers love this car so much, that is a great microcosm of what it is. You can affect the car in front of you by packing air. The car on the outside there, a little bit of contact, get away with it because it's a composite body. You can get sideways in these cars and it doesn't pay a huge penalty. It's just a fun car.
You know, Carla was talking about all the problems Mayer has had this year as he drives to the inside of Larson for 4th. Because of that, he's on the outside looking in when you talk about the chase as well. So stage points big for him as these 2 fight for position.
Yeah, Larson does not have the car that he needs to win today, but I think Sam Mayer right here, he just can't get clear. I think he needs to be on the outside to make this pass work. It'll be hard to get to the outside of Kyle Larson, but Mayer has a really good car. We've seen him on the long run have exceptional speed.
Hey, who picked him today?
Yeah, well, he's got to win first, Parker.
Okay, just put it out there.
It's stage 1, Parker. Here's what I referenced. I mean, look at Mayer at -3, came in more than 20 points out. Now, I will say this. It's one thing to get into the chase. It's another thing to put yourself in championship position after the reset. Ultimately, you want to climb up inside the top 10 to be in a good spot once the chase begins. But Sam Mayer doing all the things he needs to do to confront some of that adversity he's faced early in the season.
Yeah, they've got to get going, right? They've just got to start putting finishes.
Fast.
They have,
just
but I'm saying finishes-wise,
yeah.
points. They've just got to get going. And, you know, as you mentioned in the pre-race, essentially, we don't know where you're really going to have to be come chase time in terms of the points and seeding to have a chance at the championship. So I think for them, as we saw, Kyle Sieg was a little slow. He's on pit road right now. For the 41 team, they've just got to get going and start putting points on the board.
Tough break here for Kyle Sieg, who had that top 12 finish in the opening stage. Unscheduled pit stop, 12 to go, stage 2.
Well, guys, as I look at Connor Zilic on the right-hand side right there, ran a 31.24, but the car to pay attention to is the 19 of Brent Cruz. We've kind of said it all day long. Super quick. You see him running down Justin Allgaier about a 10th quicker the last lap. Just looks to me like the 19 can maneuver his car. We've seen him be able to make passes on the outside. You saw him turn right to the bottom through turns 3 and 4 right there. Brent doing another exceptional job on 1.5 miles, a track that he's only run one in his life in Kansas.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of what we saw so much with Zilich last year. When you go to these new venues,
it doesn't matter, right?
But you use stage 1 and 2 to kind of get your legs under you, and then in theory you're going to be your best in that final stage. We've seen it multiple times this year from Cruz, and going after one of the best here. We gave the numbers for Allgaier. He's unbelievable at Texas, and Cruz right there with him.
We saw this at Bristol, but I just love you have the 18-year-old who's just barely of age to be in the series, and the 39-year-old veteran going toe-to-toe at the front of this field. It's so cool, but I'm shocked at what I see this kid is able to accomplish, and how quickly this could be messy. How quickly he's able to just figure everything out in these different types of tracks and different driving styles required, and everything you need to know. The aero involved in these cars, it just seems like he just naturally knows it.
Yeah, and these two, see Cruz now getting to the inside of Justin Allgaier for second. Even as they're racing, they've been about a tenth, 2 tenths quicker than Connor Zilich, who's checked out in the lead. You see Brent,
little slider,
sails it off in there and slides up in front of him. Justin doesn't race him too hard right here.
You know, it's finals week on a lot of college campuses across America. The 18-year-old passing every test here today. Brent Cruz has been unbelievable.
Well, let's see what he has here. You see Connor Zilich right now at the line. Cruz has now gotten into second. Ran about a tenth quicker, even with a pass right there. But let's see how fast Brent can run all by himself. You see he's working that top line like we saw Sam Mayer doing. These guys have all kind of naturally moved up the racetrack just a little bit.
As they come off turn 2, going around Taylor Gray, who scored back in the 28th position. What's going on with our most recent winner on a 1.5 miles, Kim?
Yeah, they have dropped anchor. And, you know, they had a lot of positive outlook coming into this race. Adam, you mentioned the most recent winner at a 1.5 miles. That was Kansas. This race last year, they finished second, but it has not been the day they needed. So Toyota driver update for Taylor Gray is that something is amiss. Yes, he had that contact early in the race, but he thinks something could be broken in the suspension. The team asked, could it be rubber buildup? He said definitely no, something mechanical, possibly the track bar. So they're just telling him, take what it's giving you. We're going to look at it the stage break, but Taylor definitely complaining of something amiss with that race car.
You can see it the way his hands when he was just going slowly there on
he
the
either has
apron.
2 flat rear tires
or the
something's
track bars
broken the rear
has
end.
fallen out of this thing, essentially.
Oh, you see they're looking at the right front that they have an issue. You saw him just chasing the car. It looks to me like he had something broken in the rear, but it looks like now it's in the front.
Joe Gibbs Racing has been so good here at Texas. 17 wins, best all time. They got 3 Toyotas inside the top 10, but a tough day for Taylor Gray as we come to 5 laps remaining. Stage 2, Zilich out in front by just over a second.
Well, he's out in front, but he's looking out back right now because Brent Cruz almost 2 tenths quicker that last lap, about 1 tenth quicker right here. They're gonna have to make some adjustments to the 1 car. The 19 clearly has the best car right here at the end of stage 2 and has been able to pass Justin Allgaier. We saw how good he was on the restart. They give that young man a good pit stop. He is gonna be hard to beat in the final stage.
And I think the scary part for the competition is his versatility. See him on the bottom there. He's been making the passes around the top and going as high as anyone. He has major versatility in that car, so you're not only gonna have to get yours to handle better, but you're gonna have to combat him being able to run all over this racetrack.
Every position matters. For 18th, Raja Caruth, Anthony Alfredo going back and forth.
Still seeing all these cars move around a lot. I saw Raja right there around the bottom. Just the back of that car dancing. These guys having to work. Again, moving up. See some running a little higher, some still running around the bottom. One thing I hear is not a lot of throttle through turns 1 and 2, just really having to work the throttle. The track still extremely slick today.
Been a tough day for our reigning champ. Sam Sarah onboard camera. Jesse Love. You know, they had the good pit stop, got him in the top 10, but he's going to lose 16th here as Dean Thompson comes driving by in the 26 for Sam Hunt.
Well, it's been the whole weekend, too. Like yesterday in practice and qualifying, just didn't have the speed they wanted. We rode on board with him a few times yesterday and could just see how far off he was. It sounded like they knew the issue and they were going to be able to fix that today, but just doesn't have the speed he needs.
He could not commit the throttle there, and you saw how quickly Dean Thompson got to his rear bumper, was able to get him out of the groove and how it affected his car, but he's seriously fighting being able to have any rear security in that race car. You could just see it, not able to commit back to the throttle in a place like this. I mean, he's almost getting run over by some of these guys off of turn 4 as Roger Groove gets the inside. You saw that with Dean Thompson, in Dean's defense slightly, he caught him so fast, probably didn't expect that to happen. The two is backing up so hard.
Thompson having a pretty good day after finishing 6th last Saturday at Talladega. Down to 2 laps to go in the stage. William Sawallish doing a good job. He was involved in that early incident, has worked his way back to the top 10. Kvapil trying to get a stage point from him.
Look at
now
this.
the battle for the lead. 0.2 of a second down the back straightaway. Zilich in front of Cruz as we come to the green and white checkered flag to end this second run of the day.
Brent almost 0.3 quicker that last lap. The one of Connor Zilich is hanging on right now. He's ready. He's ready for the checkered flag.
Traffic is there. He's not going to get him, but message delivered. Zilich wins stage 2. Cruz in his hip pocket. Allgaier 3rd. Larson 4th. Mayer in the top 5, and for the final stage point in stage 2, Sawallish hangs on in front of Carson Kvapil. Boy, it's been an entertaining Saturday afternoon. 6 cautions, a lot of on-track action, exchanges for the lead. We're glad you're with us at Texas Motor Speedway. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on CW. NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard, made fresh every hour and offering 54,000 treat combos to wow your taste buds. Visit Andy's today. Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. And by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Hey, I want to jump back to the pre-race. Our friends at O'Reilly Auto Parts put the spotlight on the importance of pit signs that draw drivers in to their pit boxes. Some of them very unique, Parker.
They were. This was a fun feature. All the drivers explaining why they have these certain characters as their pit sign. The key to this is something that you will recognize in a sea as we look down here pit road of images and numbers and colors. What is going to draw your eyes towards where you're supposed to be? Because I can tell you, I almost missed my stall last night. It's very easy for it all to blend in together, so all these drivers have unique things that they know they'll see and say, that's my pit stall.
I really can't believe drivers don't miss more often, honestly.
It's honest. After last night, I have a huge respect for everyone who doesn't.
Zilich gets his first career stage win on a 1.5 mile track, and he's leading them down to Progressive Pit Road in Dillon.
The balance didn't really get that much better from stage 1 to stage 2. Plowing was the feedback from Connor Zilich, especially center exit. They'll make an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires and fuel for the 1. Kim?
Balance not great for his teammate Justin Allgaier either. Said wrecking loose off 2 because he's so tight on throttle that he's pushing way too high, but he also needs it to turn better center. You see that chassis adjustment, wedge air pressure. This is a big swing for Allgaier. 19 of Brent Cruz on the bottom. He said car's really good. Little bit of everything there. Balance maybe more so on the snug side. He said he couldn't get into 4th gear very well, but he's pretty positive. He said it was a me thing, not a car thing.
Race off Progressive Pit Road big. You want to be in control beginning the final stage. Zilich let him in. He leads him off. Cruz is second, +1 for Larson. Allgaier loses a spot, +2 for Austin Hill. Final stage coming up. Luck. Test your luck and make your power play by heading to your local lottery retailer to get in the game for tonight's estimated Powerball jackpot of $20 million. Here's Kim at the Arby's Pit Box.
Yeah, Adam, back on the Arby's Pit Box. So let's check in on the Arby's Chevrolet of Carson Quapple. When I talked to him this morning, there was a little bit of heartburn, and that's because he said, look, 1.5 miles are not my style track. This is not where I flourish. And out of all of the 1.5 miles, Texas is probably my worst. So I still have a lot to learn. Look, I don't have a lot of laps here. His goal was to be acclimated to the track by the end of stage 2, early into stage 3, and then hopefully apply things he's learned to that final stage, hopefully with a top 10, if not top 5. He was flirting, though, with the top 10 by the end of that stage, guys.
Making progress. We'll see what he can do on the long haul here in the final stage. Closing on the midway point as drivers make their way through the Echo Park restart zone. Connor Zilich in charge at Texas.
Like the 20 struggled a little bit to get going on that restart. Wasn't able to help his teammate Brent Cruz. Look at that commitment, though, on the outside through the middle of the 19. But Larson's still going to hang with him right on the inside, along with Allgaier behind him inside of Jones.
Yeah, I think Brent was almost overcommitted on the outside a little bit. You saw him giving up on the X's. They get close to each other in the entry to 3 a little bit, and Larson's able to get through right there. So something for Brent Cruz to learn about that exit of 2. It's enticing, but you don't want to overdo it.
Well, no, Larson seems to be really good on the short run. You give him 1 or 2 laps, that car fires off really good, but un-Larson-like. It just doesn't look to me like he has the long run speed, and in practice yesterday, that seemed to be the strong suit of the 88.
It's a Bristol repeat. Zilich, Larson, and Cruz, the top 3 racing for position here. 41 is Mayer, going to the inside of Austin Hill. Parker Retzloff right there as well. And involved in the battle for the Dash for Cash, Sammy Smith in that mix into the top 10.
Listen, so you hear Carson Quapple lifting super early there, just trying to time where to be, where to get the best air. You have a lot of decisions to make when the cars are side by side in front of you. We've talked about how treacherous this track is, but also when you don't have clean air or good air, you're stuck in the dirty air around you. You kind of have to back up the corners and do your best to just find incremental amounts of cleaner air to try and help that car get through the corner.
Gosh, I couldn't tell who that was inside of Carson, but it looked like they got really loose. I think it might have been Sheldon Creed right there. You see he lost his momentum. It's going to allow Jesse Love to get back to his inside.
Ryan Sieg, blue 39, racing outside of the 96 of Anthony Alfredo. Sieg had worked his way to the top 10 after starting in the back. Not going great for him now. William Sawalich has done a great job of hanging in with that damaged race car. Sam Serra on board. Jesse Love trying to come back. He's in 12th. How about the fact 11 cars just ran their fastest lap of the day? Business picking up. Final stage, 99 to go in the race.
Oh, Carson was able to get underneath Sammy Smith right there, right in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
I don't know if he's going to get the 2 hands out like we saw earlier in the race when he felt like he let him by. I think Sammy Smith did not appreciate getting loosened up off of 2 right there and sent a bit of a message back to his teammate Carson Quapple to not do that again.
See on the left-hand side of your screen, Brent Cruz, who we talked about being the best car at the end of stage 2. Larson took off really good at the start of this final stage, but now Brent Cruz slowly starting to reel him in, a 10th quicker than both Larson and Zilich ran, and you see the leaders right there in front of those guys. So good battle for the lead right here with that 19 most likely being the best car.
And if Brent Cruz gets to clean air, watch out, because he has been doing a lot of these lap times consistently following other drivers in dirty air. If he's able to get by these guys and get to cleaner air, he might check out.
Well, and the one is Zilich is struggling right now. When you look at his lap times, he ran a 30.84 that last lap. That's 2/10 slower. I mean, that's the 5th best time on the track, and he has the best track position. So the one car not liking where his car is. You see the 88 of Kyle now trying to work to the outside. He knows the one is struggling. He needs to get by him. Cruz had a bad set of corners right there. See what Kyle chooses to do on this end. I think he wants to get to the outside. Oh, look at that through the middle. The speed, the 80. Oh, he got him loose right there. He's going to get to the inside.
And they get side by side, should open the door for Cruz to gain some ground. Here he comes as Larson goes low on Zilich, looking for the race lead.
Oh, he's gonna be loose.
88 is dancing. Here comes Cruz, 3 wide in the corner for the race lead at Texas.
Oh, no.
Contact. Larson hangs on and holds on to the race lead. Unbelievable.
Awesome move right there. I can't believe all those guys saved it.
And look at all Allgaier said, thank you very much. I want to play.
How did they all get away with that? And by the way, 95 to go.
Right now, the checkered flag is not coming out anytime soon.
Well, you knew that Kyle was going to ship it into turn 3. As we get another look at it, he's like, look, I just need to clear Connor down in to the 3 and 4. You see he gets him loose right here. And then as they go into 3, he commits to it. And watch how loose he gets. We saw the same thing with Allgaier last year and Kyle Larson. Zilich knows he's committed. Oh, he chases it up the track right here, and Brent Cruz gets to the inside. I can't believe they all made it on the exit right there.
That's unbelievable. That should be 3 wrecked race cars that just didn't happen to wreck. Like, look at the saves. And none of them, you know, we'll see if this continues, but no cut down tires from that or anything. Like, that is amazing. The composite body of this race car allows you to get away with that. So cool. Let's take a listen to the radio of the 88.
For idiots. No, but the junior motorsports cars just run all over each other. I just can't believe it.
That's Marty being a little frustrated, I think, in the moment. And listen, just because you drive for the same organization doesn't mean you don't want to beat them. And everybody is selfish in these moments. They talk about maybe wanting to work together a little better as a team or as an organization.
Yeah, I think the thing he's pointing out is that Zilich squeezed him down into 3. And he took the air off. And remember, we saw that between the teammates in RCR back in Kansas.
Yeah,
it's part of the racing, especially for the lead, that sort of thing. Controlling clean air is so important as Allgaier looks to the inside here of Brent Cruz. But when you squeeze a driver like that into 3 at Texas specifically, you're putting that driver in a very compromised position.
I do want to point out, you know, reference this last stage, Larson didn't look like he had a car capable of winning. As you look at the lap times now, he's gotten that clean air. It's about 2/10 quicker, and I'd like to point out he's my pick to win today.
Nice, well done.
For the first time, Jamie serving it up, talking trash to Parker. Larson got him in tow at Texas. Let's get our golden moment, brought to you by Golden Corral. We didn't even need to vote on it today.
No.
How about this?
Easy decision, 3 wide for the lead off of 4, banging doors, and all of them get away with it. 95 laps to go, didn't matter. They all wanted the lead.
And we're at the midway point, just past the midway point in the Andes Frozen Custard 340. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing at Texas Motor Speedway for the 48th time today. We're live on CW with Parker Kligerman, Jamie McMurray. I'm Adam Alexander. Carla Metz hanging out in the CW garage. Dylan Welch, Kim Kuhn on the pit lane.
And guys, we saw Larson get to the lead there with about 10 laps to go. And because Brent Cruz had to race Allgaier and Zilich and those guys, Kyle is able to drive out to almost a 3-second lead. But as he's gotten to the lead, now Cruz in second place. We're going to have a really good race for the lead here because I think Cruz might have the speed to run Kyle back down on the long run.
I just think about what he did there at the end of stage 2, right? And how strong he was in the back half of that run. And we're going to get, if we don't get cautions, we're going to get a couple of long runs here in the final stage that could really allow that 19 team to show off what they have. Jeremy Clements, top 15, last 3 races, top 5 at Talladega. He's in that 51. Making his 542nd start here today. Has never finished in the top 10 at Texas and racing with Jesse Love. What about that 2 car? Just not where they want to be, I got to guess, Kim.
Yeah, they've been battling handling issues all race long. Before the last stop, Jesse reported tight in 3 and 4. He feels like if he enters the corner hard in 1 and 2, that at times he's free, but then at other times he feels tight and washes off the bottom of the racetrack. The last thing you want if you're the crew chief is getting reports on different things the car is doing. Usually you want one problem to address. They've had to battle everything. Right now, though, the most recent report after going green, Dylan, he is still very loose.
And Kim, something to watch back at the front of the field as we monitor the gap between the 88 at Larson and the 19 at Brent Cruz. Marty Lindley came on the radio right at the start of this run and told Kyle, hang with me for 20 laps and we'll be better. That's where they feel like their sweet spot is on the long run. But they also just came back on the radio, Marty did, and told Kyle the 19 is better. We need to be better. So this is going to be some overlap here. The 19 has been good on the long run, but the 88 has been good on the long run too, or at least they think they have been. So we'll see how it pans out and what Cruz can do with that gap.
So one thing to keep in mind, lap traffic always plays a role in the outcome of the race here. And as you look at Larson lapping these cars, there are cars all the way around the racetrack. Look at this. The whole field is spread out. There's no clean air anywhere on the racetrack. And this is when the good cars shine from the bad cars, because you can maneuver. And Parker, you referenced Brent Cruz earlier being able to maneuver. He could run the bottom, he could run the top. And as we look at lap times right now, Larson can maintain every once in a while, but then Brent will rattle off 1 or 2 tenths quicker than him. And a lot of that is just he's able to get through the traffic a little better. I'm glad to hear Marty reference to, or tell Kyle, like, listen, we have to get better. We can't be content with where we are right now because the 19 is better on the long run.
And think about this, though, who you're talking about. That's Kyle Larson, who's considered one of the best in NASCAR, in the Cup Series, in the O'Reilly Series, at getting through traffic. It's what makes him so good at places like Bristol and those short tracks that he's so dominant at sometimes. So I think he is one of the best, but that shows you he just doesn't have the car, to your point, that Brent Cruz has in terms of versatility.
And timing's everything on the lap traffic. If you get guys like this, where you have Austin Hill on the inside, you see Balicki right there on the outside, 2 wide, nowhere you can go. So there's a little bit of luck that plays into it, and the timing of when those guys, get 2 wide in front of you and what you can do. You see the 9 right there loose inside of Austin Hill.
Watching Quapple there in 9th, Sammy Smith right behind him in 10th. All 5 Junior Motorsports Chevrolets inside the top 10. You think about what they've done this year, 6 victories in 11 races with 4 different drivers. They've been top 5 in half of their starts among all of their teams, and you see the numbers here in what they're doing today, but it's been such a productive start to the campaign. The only driver that has multiple victories this year, Allgaier with 3, and he's 3rd right now.
So crazy how much this race has changed throughout the stages. We saw Allgaier just wax him in the first stage, win by 3 seconds. Looked like it was just going to be a walkaway race. Then Brent Cruz was the best car, and now we see Larson out front and all these guys just trying to get through lap traffic.
I just love that onboard there. Sam Mayer watching Austin Hill navigate the different lanes of this racetrack, trying to get a run and start to have some momentum on Sam Mayer down the front stretch. They're battling for 7th, which would move Hill to one of the highest positions he's been all day. Good run here in stage 3 for him. It's like they've worked on that car and got it better and better each stage. He's moving forward.
How about Retzloff? Again, up to the top 5, just past Connor Zilic, who led this race. You know, earlier looked like he maybe had the car to beat. Parker Retzloff again with Viking Motorsports just doing exceptional job again.
Well, the one car is struggling. This Better Hearing Month, Starkey can help you hear your best. Scan the QR code to take a short free online hearing test at starkey.com. Now let's listen to Starkey Radio from Team 1.
Yeah, I need like a wrench or something in this thing. It's still plowing. Probably going to want to short pit it a little bit. It's horrible.
That's so frustrating as a driver when you get this long green flag run, and as it you also don't know all the circumstances. You're trying to crew chief from inside the car, and it's so hard. Dylan, do you have more on Zilic?
Well, you heard him talk about wanting to short pit. Remember, Taylor Gray was the first one to pit last at Kansas a couple weeks ago, and that undercut worked for them, and it ended up winning them the race. So the tire fall off and things are different, but that may be a move that they should consider because I think if they can maybe get some clean air and get the balance a little better, it might work for the one. But he definitely needs some adjustments because he's doubled back on that even since that radio and complained about how bad the car is, how tight it is.
Yeah, that's fine, but what are we, about 13 or 14 laps away from that moment that you'd be the earliest you could come to pit road? So the good news is, yeah, you can pull that off. The bad news is you have a large amount of laps between you and being able to pull off that strategy.
Oh, look at Sam Mayer. You still think snap. Austin Hill get to the inside of him right there. Gosh, all these cars are just right on edge.
Austin Hill is rolling. He's
Yeah.
boxed a couple guys just in the last few laps. They've really tuned on that car, driving towards the top 5.
Hill is up to 6th, one earlier this year at Daytona. Green flag pit stops on the way. 72 to go. Larson leads at Texas. As we head into the final portion of the race today, it's the perfect time to slow things down with Arby's new slow smoke barbecue. While it's all about speed on the track, Arby's is doing barbecue the opposite way. Smoke low, slow, and worth the wait. The Arby's barbecue sandwich comes loaded either with pulled pork or chopped brisket, paired up with your choice of sweet or spicy barbecue sauce. Scan the QR code to order now in the Arby's app. Arby's, we have the meats. Problems for Connor Zilic here.
Yeah, we saw him dropping like a rock, and Jamie and I were talking during commercial that we felt like most likely this could be a tire issue, and sure enough, he has a right front down. We saw this with the 3-car of Austin Dillon, who had a corded left front. So Dillon, definitely tire issues here for the one of Connor Zilic.
Yeah, well, he delivered kind of on what you guys were suspecting might happen. He was actually talking on the radio when this went down. He said that I've never felt the tires chatter like this in my life. And as he was saying that, he came on and said, oh, the right front just went down. So able to make it to pit road, but obviously going to lose a lot of time here as the rest of the field's still under green.
He's really fortunate. Normally you lose a right front at 1.5 miles. It ends in a caution and a tow truck is involved. So it's unfortunate the time he's going to lose getting on pit road, but still going to be able to continue on in this race.
But right on the edge of the window here.
Yeah,
and I see Larson's hand out the window right here.
By him coming down here, I'm not going to say it's a good break for him from the standpoint that they're going to gain some track position, but he wanted a short pit. You don't hit the wall, you don't bring out the caution, and everybody else going to have to make a green flag pit stop as well.
You may have just made it long enough, but this is really far for them to go on fuel if we had to go to the end here. So I think he might just be outside it, but we'll see if it plays in his hands. Maybe they can save some fuel. The fall off we've seen, that sort of thing, and maybe they can stretch it.
Well, a lot of these guys, if you think you have a tire issue, pit. Just go ahead and get on pit road. Don't end your day. Go ahead and pit now. See how many more of these guys decide to come in. I see Jeff Burton's on pit road. I thought Larson maybe was coming. I saw him wave. That might have been a courtesy wave. I thought maybe he was trying to wave off that he would come down. The alternate to having to pit early like this is you're going to have to go so far to make it to the end of the race if we don't get any cautions.
Yeah, well, we were told by most of the teams, 6 laps from now, basically 144, 145 would be where earliest you want to be on pit road, essentially. So this would be a fairly early, I think for Zilic it's 8 laps early most likely than what he wanted to be, and that's a big gap fuel-wise to make up on the racetrack, so they're probably in a tough position.
And with Kyle being 4 seconds ahead, he's got at least a 2-lap buffer where he can get on pit road. If they just have a normal pit stop, he'll still come out in the lead. I know we talked about Taylor Gray, Jason Ratcliffe short pitting and able to leapfrog through. There's not quite as big of a lap time fall off here, so the advantage of short pitting isn't near as much of an advantage as we saw at Kansas a few weeks ago.
Well, but you referenced Taylor Gray and what he did at Kansas. They didn't take the race lead until there were 48 laps remaining. They did it all through that green flag cycle. Larson didn't lead at Las Vegas until we had 47 laps to go. So we may not yet have seen the guy that's going to win this race at the front. Really, it is all about how do you execute this green flag stop. And as we come to 59 to go, I'll also remind you that when Taylor Gray made that great call with he and crew chief Jason Ratcliffe at Kansas, they did it with 57 laps remaining. So we're starting to knock on the door of that time when you'll see that. And speaking of, here we go. 7th in the running order, Carson Kvapil giving up that spot to come down and get scheduled green flag service with 59 laps remaining here at Texas. Coming your way, Kim.
And like you mentioned, Adam, pitting from the 7th position, exactly what he told me. He said, I'm hoping to be top 10 by that final stage. We'll see how this green flag stops go. But he said pushing tight is what he told his team, specifically center of 3 and 4. So an air pressure adjustment for that RV Chevrolet of Carson Kvapil. Those right side tires going on, looking a little bit slow on that stop. And that also takes Sunoco fuel.
The other big thing about a green flag cycle is managing yourself in and off the pit road around lap traffic. We just saw Larson, who's got the lead, get trapped a little bit, lost a couple of tenths in that exchange. Austin Hill is in, giving up position to make his scheduled green flag stop. It comes with 58 laps to go. He was running inside the top 10. And I'll tell you this too, everybody putting on a set of sticker tires here, they have another set laying in the pit. So if we get a caution later, they undoubtedly would come again. Most likely would make another pit stop late if they were given the opportunity under caution.
And as more cars in the top 10 start to pit, that makes other cars have to react because you do have a fair amount of fall, so they can't give too many laps out there to go further than if another car does come down pit road with that shorter pit. It forces these other ones on track to come down.
And you watch on the left-hand side of your screen, Kyle Larson trying to get by Austin Dillon, held him up for a couple of laps. Brent Cruz dug in over a second to that lead.
Allgaier was 3.1 seconds back when he comes down to make his pit stop. Third is where he was in the running order. Parker Retzloff also coming in, Dylan.
And he's been in and around the top 5 for most of the afternoon here. He'd reported that he was a little bit tight on entry and in the center to run the bottom consistently earlier in the race. A little bit slow on the right rear here as they go around to the left side. Justin Allgaier is also on the right side of the screen. He'll get 4-tire service as well. We see the race leader, Kyle Larson, is into the pits as well. He still is reporting that he's too tight. That's been his only report all day today. He'll hit his marks here on pit road. They'll change 4 tires. They've done nothing but air pressure and a small chassis adjustment. There's the wrench in the back window. Another chassis adjustment for Larson to try to free him up, Kim.
As we look, Brent Cruz making his green flag stop. He said trending tight, and then at the end of the run, really tight, but he told crew chief Seth Chaka, please don't take a crazy swing at it. So just a minor air pressure adjustment for that 19.
Wasn't a lot of separation for the drivers running inside the top 5, and when they made their scheduled green flag pit stop, Larson comes off there, Cruz and Jones coming off right behind him. Allgaier came a lap earlier. Here's Allgaier through turns 1 and 2. Larson getting up to speed, and it looks like Larson's going to stay in front of him. Allgaier able to leapfrog Cruz and maybe get Jones here down the back straightaway for what would be second in the running order after everybody else makes their scheduled green flag stop. Right now, the top 7 yet to come.
Great move there by the 7 team. That's what you can pick up by short pitting in terms of lap time and time in terms of the cycle there for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Big pickup for him. There was a couple cars that had some slow stops. I saw Parker Retzloff was on pit road for a while there. That's been the Achilles heel of that team, having such a good run. You just cannot mess up these green flag cycles. You give up so much when you do.
Yeah, and Larson's done a great job, though. He has maintained about a 3-second gap on Justin Allgaier. Once this cycles through, if we don't have a caution, he's still going to have about a 3-second lead, even with Allgaier coming just slightly earlier. We'll see what those lap times do for these two guys. We get a look here. A little bit of wall.
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of wall.
A lot of wall contact, yeah.
Wow, pushing. You know, and that's the other thing. When you're in these cycles like this, you will push as hard as you possibly can because you are trying to just, you know, every moment on the racetrack here as you work through this cycle is incredibly important because as cars are coming back on the pit road, you're on newer tires, you're just trying to maximize lap time. Obviously overstepped it there for Justin Allgaier.
You guys referenced Parker Retzloff and having a little bit of a slower stop. We saw 16.8 seconds for Retzloff. Most of these guys are in the high 13s, low 14s, so lost a couple of seconds on that transition.
Lost a couple of seconds, but not going to lose any positions. Yeah. He's 6th right now, but will go back to 5th once Raja Caruth makes his scheduled stop. Raja has stayed on track. He has scored as the race leader, but all this is going to cycle to Larson once he makes his stop. And the guy that really paid the price on the cycle is Brent Cruz. Went from 2nd to 4th with those drivers running up front.
You got to think some of that is the inexperience of getting on and off of pit road. There's, you know, we always focus on the pit cruise time, but the green flag stop where you do your braking, the transition onto pit road, how you get in your stall, how you get out of your stall, you're up to speed lap. There's a lot of other factors that go into being a great driver and putting together a whole day, and to me that would be the weakness there.
Yeah, I was questioning how he had lost so much time, and to your point, you know, we get as technical with these green flag stops as to pick a point there on the wall or a billboard as your braking point that you have to reference. You have to get the brakes in the right position to maximize that braking point to get onto pit road, down to pit road speed, maximize your drive time, you're into the box, you're out of the box, and your exit lap. So somewhere in that cycle, they obviously lost an immense amount of time and are paying the price. He's trying to go to the outside here. His teammate Brendan Jones, Blaine Perkins is up there. He can't do it, but that, to your point, that's just all those things that you do in a cycle are so important. And if you give up any part of it, you lose out big to a team that executes better.
And if you're a Justin Allgaier fan, you saw that contact off of turn 2. It looked really hard, but it has not slowed his lap times down. He's matching Larson right now at 31 flat. Still about 3.3 seconds back from Kyle Larson, but overall speed-wise still seems to be there with the 7 car.
So everything is cycled through. Raja, you saw, came down, made his pit stop. Larson is back on point, over 3 seconds in front of Allgaier. Now the battle for third. Cruz trying to get that position back from his teammate, Brandon Jones. Really good stuff here. Almost 5 seconds behind race leader Kyle Larson. Cruz driving through, and keep this in mind for Brent Cruz. He's leading in the chase now for the $100,000 in our final round of the Dash for Cash.
See, Brandon Jones fights back, doesn't want to give up this position. 48 laps to go. I think it's just a matter of time, though. You see the 19, how much quicker he is through the middle of the corner. Brent being very disciplined with his teammate. We heard the Junior Motorsports guys getting on to each other about how hard they're racing each other. These guys are being hard, they're racing hard, but they're also being fair. Look how much room Brandon gives him on the entry of the corner. We'll see 19 now is going to be able to slide up.
We talk about executing green flag pit stops, and let's talk about this duo's teammate, William Sawalich. Drove through too many pit boxes. He was top 10 when the cycle began. He's now a lap down in 20th, and that's not good because he's one of those drivers right above the chase cut line coming into today's race.
And that is easy to do in green flag stops because there's no other cars really on pit road at time. You get disoriented in exactly where you are in reference, where your pit box is in reference to the ones before it. It's easy to drive through too many stalls. Just a mistake.
Going to be 45 laps to go next time around. That's the length of a stage. Kyle Larson maintains the lead through a cycle of green flag pit stops at Texas. Closed captioning for today's race is brought to you by Cerakote. The top detailers in the world trust Cerakote. Shouldn't you? 41 laps to go, now 40 here at Texas Motor Speedway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Kyle Larson leading, 14 cars on the lead lap after a cycle of green flag pit stops, and look who Larson is going to see real soon. It's the one of Connor Zillage. Remember, he had the tire issue, had to come earlier than he wanted. Dylan told us during the break they are short on fuel. He's going to need a caution for more reasons than one. The first, he wants to stay on the lead lap. Second, he would love to come down and get that last set of tires and some fuel here.
One thing to pay attention to, it's going to take Kyle, I think, a few laps to get by the one. He's going to race him hard, not far behind the 88. You're going to see Allgaier. We saw him get into the wall a little bit ago, but I referenced lap time-wise, Allgaier's still there. He actually has made up almost a second over the past 8 or 10 laps on the 88. This thing runs out green. It's going to be really close, almost 2/10 that last lap. Connor doesn't race him too hard right there, but it's cost Larson quite a bit of lap time here. Where's the 7? Right there, you see the 7 at the start-finish line. So Justin can see him, and he's going to know how quick he's catching him. They're going to reference, listen, 2/10 that last lap, and that is exactly what you want to hear if you're the driver of the 7.
Well, they're all teammates, so
you
if
and me been together a long time. You need to trust me. It is a long way from over.
It's Eddie DeHaan, Justin Allgaier's spotter right there. A little positive encouragement. Look how high this track has moved up. I know we've heard some issues about tire wear, and the higher they run and the grayer the track, the higher the wear. That would make me a little bit nervous knowing that we're going to have probably the longest run all day long for these guys.
But you can see how much rubber is also laid down, how gray this place was before, and now you can see that groove is really blackened up with all the rubber that's been laid down the track. So they've pushed it higher and higher for sure, but when you get these long runs like this, especially green flag cycle, it lays down a ton of rubber.
What I would be thinking about right now if I'm a crew chief and a driver is, what do I need for a short run? Because the odds of this going all the way to the checkered and not having a caution, if you watched last night in the truck race, if we get a caution late, you get numerous restarts. So I want to know what I need to fire off quick, and I want to start working on that now so I can get ahead of it.
36 to go. Let's go full throttle with Sound Gear. Wherever sound is a problem, Sound Gear has the solution. Scan the QR code to learn more at soundgear.com. Turn it up. Larson clicking them off. Advantage overall. Allgaier is 2 seconds. Cruz in third is 4.8 seconds back. He's in line for the dash for cash. His teammate Brandon Jones in fourth. Parker Retzloff rounding out the top 5, looking for his best ever run on a 1.5 miles. Austin Hill is sixth. Quapple, Mayer, Creed, and Sammy Smith complete the top 10.
What started to level out now, it's at 2 seconds. The gap from Larson to Allgaier. He was chipping into it pretty good there for a while. Made up well over a second, but
he's responded.
Found a little speed. Yeah. But look at that gap in front of Kyle. That's exactly what he wants to see, and I think that's what's helped him a little bit. Justin's actually gotten through this lap traffic a little bit better than what Kyle has been able to.
What Larson doesn't want to see is you see the 2 car there and Anthony Alfredo were side by side. Doesn't want to catch them in a moment like that. He'll see that up ahead of him and start plotting what he wants to do if they are side by side or if they get single file, which is how you work through traffic. And what makes him so good at working through traffic is he's one of those drivers that can see that 4 or 5 laps before and remember when he gets to them exactly what they did in that corner 4 or 5 laps ago. And that's just one of those things where he doesn't have to hesitate because he's got such a memory bank of exactly what they've done in front of him.
And you referenced those 2 drivers. That's 12th and 13th position on the racetrack, setting a incredibly fast pace right here, but they are running a ½ second a lap slower than what Kyle is. So you get 1 or 2 laps like that running a ½ second slower, and all of a sudden Allgaier, who's 1.9 seconds back, is there.
Here's the other thing I would say. When he put Zillage a lap down, that's his teammate. So he didn't put up a fight. Those guys you'll see next, they're not team cars. They are going to race him really hard. Let's do a little dash for cash through the field. Kim Kuhn leads us off with number 19.
Yeah, and Brent Cruz leading the brigade of Dash for Cash drivers, currently in the 3rd position. If he holds that, looking to take home that $100,000, but continuing to impress. Remember, this is only his 2nd mile and a half, and he was a quick learner yesterday, qualified in the 5th position despite getting tight during his lap and kissing the wall, and he's maintained that type 5 position all day long. I talked with crew chief Seth Kafka this morning, and he said, look, the most important thing I could get across to him yesterday was reminding him that these are big corners. Don't shallow up the entry, arc the car more. And he just said, look, he's got so little experience at these big type tracks. That's going to come with more reps. Right now, Spatter Tadboy just very encouraging on the radio, reminding that young driver to take care of his right front. Carla?
Yeah, Kim, and Sheldon Creed currently running P9. He coming in off 8 straight top 10s. It's a career best for Creed. He said, it makes my job easy when we bring fast race cars and unload well consistently. That's not only paying dividends in his average finish this season, which is 6.5, but it's also paying dividends in these Dash for Cash races. He told me he didn't really pay much attention to Dash for Cash until the end of last week's race in Talladega, but said I'd be lying if I hadn't thought about the significance of winning 3 in a row. The only other driver to do that, Noah Gregson, back in 2021. He said, I'd love to just give my team another reason to get riled up. Of course, everyone from Haas Factory will get a bonus if they do win again today, Dylan.
Well, Carla, Sammy Smith started 13th, and his crew chief, Corey Shea, knew that their car wasn't going to drive well at the start of the day. So their goal by the end of stage 2 was to try to get inside the top 10. They knew the cup rubber would be picked up by then. They'd have a better understanding of what they needed from their race car. But it took them to the end of stage 2 to get there, but they were much better in that stage than in stage 1. So they made some progress on the handling. They've got to 10th now, and they've kind of leveled out there. Car's just been okay, but Sammy's looking for his 3rd Texas top 10 in 4 starts.
Yeah, and you think about a month ago, the 8 team was really struggling. 3 consecutive runs outside the top 10, back in the top 5 at Talladega to make them Dash for Cash eligible, and in the top 10 here again today. And Corey Day, the other driver going for the Dash for Cash, if you weren't with us, crashed on lap 1, done for the day 1 week after getting his first career victory.
So that's Larson behind Jesse Love here. He's starting to catch him. And then ahead of Jesse, there is a lot of cars for Larson to navigate through. And it seems like Justin Allgaier was gaining a little bit, got the gap under almost to 1.8 seconds at one point.
This is what we're watching right here, is this gap of Justin Allgaier. It's like they run the same lap time, and then all of a sudden it's 2/10.
Yep.
And then they maintain the same lap time. I've only seen a couple of laps that Larson has actually been able to run quicker than Justin Allgaier. He's slowly chipping away at it, and the closer that Larson gets to the front, the faster those cars are, and the harder they're going to race him to stay on the lead lap.
And when you're Justin Allgaier in this position, as Larson goes below Jesse Love here, you are just doing everything you can do.
Oh, he's going to cross him over, though.
That is really tight. You're just doing everything you can to be pinpoint perfect, because you know every corner is just a fraction more of lap time you can gain to try to get towards that leader. And you see it there. It's getting smaller.
Oh, I'm telling you, every time it's like 2/10 every once in a while, and then they maintain the same lap. We'll see that the other advantage that Allgaier has right now is that Jesse Love most likely will not race him as hard as he did Kyle Larson, because you're trying to stay on the lead lap. They never race the 2nd, 3rd, 4th place cars as hard as they do the leader. The leader has to work way harder.
I just think about how the script has been flipped in this race. Had a caution lap 1, 3 cautions for incident in the opening stage. But across the board, 6 cautions in the race, very clean in this final stage of the afternoon. Who can get it done on the long haul? That will answer who gets to victory lane. Larson leading now by 1.6 seconds.
Next 5 laps are going to be critical. Can he get by Brendan Poole? See LeVar Scott right there, another car in front of them. See what his lap time is here, how much these guys...
Oh, and there goes Richard Caruth. Caution number 7. I had just said how clean this final stage has been. Now we get a yellow, and this changes the entire complexity of the race, because everybody's got a set of tires in the pit area.
And this is what I was referencing a second ago when we got in this long green flag run, is let's start talking about what would we need if we have a short run to the finish. What do we have to have good short run speed? Marty Lindley, it seems like the 88 has had that today, but we're getting ready to find out who has it.
Well, and you start thinking, too, about the execution on pit road. Caution comes out here, as we said, with just over 20 laps to go. Showing 12 cars on the lead lap. It'll be 13. Jesse Love in position to get the free pass. When the 32 of Raja Carruth crashed, he was scored in the 18th position.
And this is off of turn 2. We talk about the groove getting so high. Well, eventually you just overstep the cushion basically there. He does that. Right rear gets away from him into the outside wall. And then he's just hanging on from there after hitting that wall. Look at that drift. Was hoping to catch it, but it just doesn't quite have enough room. Once that right rear contacts the wall, then you get behind the steering. You're along for the ride.
Next 3 weeks, Raja going to be back in the 88, so it's good news for him. Goes back over and drives for Junior Motorsports and just gets some consecutive
really
weeks in the same car, which is what he really needs. Well, that was tight, wasn't it?
Hit something you're looking ahead and go, uh-oh, no.
Mayer running 7th and able to get through without getting any damage. Pit road going to open with 20 laps to go.
High pressure pit stops right here.
Yeah,
Larson, Allgaier, Cruz, Jones, Retzloff, the top 5.
Well, and Larson has no buffer. You see that, Justin, there's not any lap cars between him. When they get to pit road, 7 is going to be right on the back bumper of Kyle Larson.
Coming down Progressive pit road, Dylan.
Larson said he fired off okay after the most recent yellow, but got tighter sooner than the previous run. Marty Lindley said, okay, I'm just going to leave you alone here. They were doing some air pressure with the tires on the wall, foreign fuel for the 88, Kim.
Let's watch the stop of Justin Allgaier there in the middle. He said balance is better, but still edgy with the right rear. They will take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Brent Cruz on the bottom also taking 4 fresh Goodyear tires. He said, got too tight there, that's all. Again, did not want a chassis adjustment. He said, figure out another way to fix it.
Tremendous execution by the 88 team. Larson wins the race off Progressive pit road. A jump for Brandon Jones. Allgaier comes out right behind him. -1 for Brent Cruz, +1 for Austin Hill. Huge restart. Time to finish it at Texas when we come back on CW. Back at Texas, let's take a look at this replay brought to you by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. We're reflecting on this 88 team and some of the things that have happened late in races here in the first part of the year.
Well, we know at Bristol they elected to stay out or to pit. Zillage did, stayed out and was able to beat them, not able to get by. Tire fall off just wasn't there.
Lost the battle off pit road at Darlington when he appeared to be the guy.
Well, Darlington was definitely a struggle for those guys, but man, if they answered the call today, had their third fastest stop of anybody on pit road when it counted at 13.25.
And that was interesting there. Brandon Jones, who we saw earlier in the race, give up the front row to take the bottom, and the second row decides to take the outside there to combat against Kyle Larson. And Justin Allgaier on the inside on the second row. Watch for what Austin Hill did earlier in this race, where he dove the inside and made it 3 wide. The way this track is shaped, and with the dog legs, if you don't protect the inside, it gives you a terrible angle into the corner, but if you don't protect, someone will try to fill that hole and put you 3 wide. Austin Hill did it earlier. That's what Justin Allgaier maybe will want to do, or Austin Hill will do that to Justin Allgaier.
Let's get some 7-team radio here.
Just remember what we talked about. Nothing stops a hungry Gator. Not even the so-called greatest of all time. I know that you can beat him. You've beat him before. Copy. All good.
But Justin's going to have to protect, as you said, Austin Hill behind him. You're going to try to go for the lead, but you're going to have to drive out of the front and the back. Jones is the one that I'd be worried about if I'm Larson. We really haven't seen what's the 20 car have on the short run speed. He, you know, is he have a car? He's been back in traffic all day long. You just don't know what somebody's going to have right here and who's made the right adjustments. We're only going to have 17 to go when they take the green flag right here. So some of these crew chiefs will get creative, and you'll give up some long run speed to fire off quick here.
8 cars took the wave around 20 on the lead lap. Restart coming with 17 to go. Front row, Larson and Jones. They're coming to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone.
Great launch by Larson.
Yeah, the inside's got a good launch all day long. Kyle in perfect position right here.
Mayer getting really low and forcing the action inside a hill. 3 wide, 1 and 2. Larson gets away with the lead, but here comes Allgaier.
Allgaier with a great exit to turn 2. We'll see what he chooses to do down the backstretch into turn 3.
Inside lane, the way to go. Larson gets away with the top spot, brings Allgaier with him. 1-2 Junior Motorsports with 16 laps remaining.
One thing we saw in practice yesterday is that 7 car in second place seemed to have the best short run car. We thought Larson looked a little better on the long run. You see Allgaier's already working around the racetrack trying to find grip. You cannot follow Larson through the line. You just, the dirty air, you will not make the speed you need.
Got 3 wide back here. Jesse Love, Sammy Smith, and Carson Kvapil gets sorted out, but Sammy Smith almost gets the rear bumper of his teammate Carson Kvapil.
How about Jesse Love getting the free pass, trying to get back in the top 10. Chevy's going at it here for a spot. 15 to go.
That'd be a great recovery for the 2 car. We haven't seen him in the top 10 much at all today. Saving the best for last. Great recovery by Ian Stockman.
He's been top 10 every mile-and-a-half race this year. It was in jeopardy today. How about this for third? Cruz, Mayer, Jones, Retzloff right there as well.
Cruz commits to the entry of turn 3, slides up in front of his teammate. See Retzloff having to wheel it on the exit.
Austin Hill taking advantage in the shoot. That's 0-0. Sheldon Creed coming through, his best position of the day.
And what a restart by Sam Mayer. He put Austin Hill 3 wide by getting to the bottom like we talked about, was able to grab those spots, and now finds himself in 3rd from restarting outside the top 5. That's pretty impressive. Oh no, sideways.
Sammy Smith going in the wrong direction. Anthony Alfredo takes advantage. The one of Connor Zilic trying to do the same, but Zilic still 1 lap down.
The angle of that 8 car, Sammy Smith, I just assumed he was going towards the inside wall, how sideways he was, but gathered up and held on to it. Check this out. Look how sideways the 8 of Sammy Smith is. Wow.
Man, Larson doing a great job out front, guys. I know we referenced, was Allgaier going to have the short run speed that he needs, but just watching the lap times last time by, about a 10th quicker for Kyle Larson over Justin Allgaier. You see Allgaier just doing everything he can, trying to run a little bit of a different line, but the 88 is glued to the bottom of the racetrack right now. Likes the balance of that car. Again, about a 10.5 quicker, built 3/4 of a second lead.
And this is a tough phase of the race to make up gobs of time because everyone's had multiple pit stops to work on their car. You get a caution like that where it picks up all the rubber off the bottom, adds more grip to this racetrack. It's going to take a few laps for you to kind of get back to equilibrium where your car might have been better. As you see Justin on the top side, he looks like
he found a little something though. It looks to me like he's caught him.
That looked like he had major momentum compared to Larson.
Yeah, you look at the timing and scoring across the bottom of your screen. 4 tenths. Allgaier found 2 tenths, so the 88's going to have to change his lineup. You watch him through 3 and 4 the next time. He's going to run that higher line that you saw Justin Allgaier running right there. It wasn't that Larson slowed down. It's that Allgaier found some speed right there. He found about 2.5 tenths over his lap before. Look at exactly how high he is. He's the highest car on the racetrack right now.
Allgaier's never won at Texas.
Too high.
6 of his 31 career victories have been on 1.5-mile tracks. Would love to add TMS to the list.
Allgaier lost 3.5 tenths that lap. You saw him just step over the line. It's such a fine balance of a lot of grip to when you get over it, how much you can lose. Big risk versus reward right there, but I like that he's searching around.
And you can't try to take big gobs out of the deficit right here. You got to just have those small incremental ones. He got maybe almost lucky with the 2 tenths on that one lap, but then it's okay, just try to find 0.5 tenth here and there. Just pick away at this. You've got 9 laps to go. It's enough time.
2 tenths that lap he found again.
And hey, look right at your screen, saving his best for last. Sheldon Creed up inside the top 5. The next car he will see, Brent Cruz. They're racing for $100,000 with 9 to go. Left of your screen, Allgaier digging in, trying to run down Larson.
Look at the momentum the 7 car had down the backstretch. He's been able to get such good exits. You got to think the 88's probably too tight, just searching around, trying to find grip. They're going to tell him where the 7's running, but if your balance isn't there, if you can't do that, you're kind of helpless. But catching him and passing him will be 2 different stories. As he gets closer, he'll get in that dirty air. Kyle's going to be driving out of the back of his car way more than he is out of the front.
Justin is flying right now. He just gained car lengths there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can't hold down a hungry gator. Here comes Allgaier.
Well, at this point, you don't even have to look at timing and scoring. You can just see with your eyes the speed that the 7 car has on the exit of the corners. 6 laps to go, 7 to go. It's going to be hard for Kyle to hold on to this.
We've had some fantastic finishes here 2 years ago, tied the closest finish in series history. Could we get a repeat this afternoon? 2 of the best in the business going at it. Larson won here last year. Allgaier trying to get it done today for his first Texas trophy.
Does Larson just give him the top like this?
Well, Kyle's like entering high, like not really taking the top or the bottom through the entry, but look at the momentum the 7 has. I think you have to not let him get to your outside. Kyle's going to have to protect that top. You have to open up the wheel right here.
Not able to do it, does he? Just cuts him off.
Yeah, Kyle cannot let him get to the, if Allgaier gets to the outside, it's over. Yep. There's no way Kyle will be able to hold him off, and he's going to know that, so he's going to have to start moving up the racetrack a little bit right here. It's crazy to me that he won't move up. Kyle's so good at that, but it's like he just, inside the car, he doesn't feel comfortable there.
Well, it's like that lap in 3-4, he did just enough to cut off the air of the 7. Justin got a little bit tight, maybe had to burp the throttle on the exit of 4 and lost about a car length there just quickly.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's moved up now.
He's just doing enough to cover the air and create dirty air for the 7.
And it's not that Kyle's found lap time here. They've fallen off 3 tenths of what they've been running. Kyle now moving up is just in protection mode. You see right there, entering high, just trying to get in the space that the 7 needs.
4 laps to go, this time by. Remember, these 2 traded paint under caution when they shared the front row. All bets are off as we hit 3.5 laps to go.
Here's
down the back straightaway. Allgaier looking to the inside for the race lead. Can he make it happen?
I would give him the inside. There's no chance I'm giving him the outside, though. If I'm Kyle, even if he can pack air on the left rear and get me tight, get me loose, slide me up the track, I don't care. You can race him if they're on your inside. You're done if he gets to your outside.
Well, I think that's the decision here for Justin Allgaier. If he can get to the left rear and pack that air, can you do it in a place where you feel like it gives you enough momentum to then have the positive momentum down to the next corner? But if you get stuck side by side in the 3 and 4, the outside car will prevail.
Look how high the 7 is again. You got to think Kyle can see that in his mirror. Look at the run down the backstretch.
Just kind of fizzles out in terms of momentum, but he's going to have to come up with something here with these runs, with Kyle giving him just enough room up top. He's got the momentum, but he's going to have to do something with it to get by Kyle.
Kyle almost into the wall on the exit of 4 right here. Big decision to make. Going to have to run a little bit higher than you've been running. Just protect as much as you can. Kyle doesn't do it right here, though. We'll see an Allgaier build that run that we saw the lap before. It's going to be about just timing out that run and when he can get there.
Larson playing defense, heading to turn 3. I'm going to come back and see the white flag.
Oh, it's going to get interesting here.
He just has just a bit more momentum, but he can't quite get to the outside.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank for what's ahead. Who gets it, Larson or Allgaier?
Does he just get to the rear bumper here?
Oh, he's just mirror driving right now, just trying to get in that lane a little higher than he's been the last few laps. Kills the momentum.
He's just going to have to pack the air and hope to get him out of the groove, get him unsettled, and get a run to the checker.
Here we are, turn 3, final time. Allgaier looking high. Larson playing defense. Off of turn 4, back to the finish line. Kyle Larson back-to-back. He gets his 3rd win at Texas.
God, that was fun.
What a battle.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That's awesome.
That had to be fun for both of those guys as well.
Good job, Josh. Well, good job, guys. Good fight, Marty. Good job. Great job, team.
19 wins for Kyle Larson. 2nd time he's won this season. Also got it done on the 1.5 mile at Las Vegas for Junior Motorsports. That's 7 wins in the first 12 events of 2026. Today goes to driver 88, taking the checkers in the Andes Frozen Custard 340.
What gets me about this win for Larson is, yes, he's Kyle Larson, but
it wasn't
he didn't have the better car there, but he was able to manipulate the air. He wasn't able to run as high as Justin was and just do it well enough to hold him off and not give Justin an option as to get beside him. That's just right there. Those 10 laps is what makes this guy so impressive. For those of us who have driven race cars and been in those moments, to watch him do that and get a victory like this. Yes, it's not his main series, but that's what also makes it so impressive, is he's just able to find a way and understand all the dynamics of racing to pull this off.
It's been a big weekend for Kyle. Won over here in the high-limit sprint cars on Thursday night. Wins the O'Reilly race here today. Going for another one tomorrow in the Cup race.
Allgaier doesn't get the win, but the guy that leads the championship, padding his advantage here today. But we know how bad he wanted to beat Larson. Final round of the Dash for Cash today. Brent Cruz gets 4th, his 4th consecutive top 5 finish, and he wins the $100,000 for the first time in his career. But the big trophy goes to Young Money. Kyle Larson has the Texas trifecta, Dylan.
Boy, and the fans are lined up on the fence here, ready to salute their winning driver today. Hey, I talked to Marty this weekend, and he mentioned the last 2 starts you've had in this car, you've dominated these races, and it's gotten away from you. How motivated were you today to not let that one get away from you?
Well, I really didn't think I had a chance there with Justin behind me. He was really good and catching me there on that long run after the green flag stop, and was just hoping clean air I could kind of stretch away and like I did the run before to start stage 3, but yeah, I don't know. He was just really good behind me, and he could run a lot of different lanes back there too. I was trying to do what I could to take his air away while also maintaining a good corner for myself, but man, he was always closing on me. So thanks to him for racing me clean there. He could have easily got in the back of me. I could tell he was trying to pack some air to get me free. But yeah, that was a great little run to the end there. So thanks all the fans for coming out. Look forward to seeing every one of you at the dirt track here after this. We're going to head to Victory Lane, get some ice cream, and go see if we can get another one.
I want to ask real quick, too, about the restarts with you and Allgaier when you guys were kind of crowding each other and getting into each other. How much of that is mind games? How much of that is you just trying to position yourself to get into turn 1 where you want to?
Nothing about turn 1. It was just, I think he knew the top was dirty at that point and was just running whoever was in the outside lane. He did it to me and Connor, and just kind of left us out in the marbles there. So I was just trying to give myself a lane. He was like 3 lanes up, but it is what it is. I think you got to take every advantage you can get, and that was what he felt was his advantage early. But yeah, I don't know. I just like to start the race.
Kyle Larson gets it done. He's the winner again in the 88. Kim?
And Justin Allgaier bests the day with a second place finish. I know it matches your best finish here. As you look at those closing laps, though, what was missing for you?
Track position, unfortunately. I'm just disappointed. You know, our Roto-Rooter Chevy was really good. Huge thank you to Andrew and all the guys on the 7 team. I mean, to bring as fast of a race car as we had today is special. And, you know, to do all the things we did, I felt like, you know, the short run for us was a little bit of a little bit of a struggle, I guess, all day. We were on the split a little too hard to fire off on those runs, and really that was the difference maker at the end of the race. So I'm disappointed. Without contact, I don't know that there's any way to get around him, and I tried every lane I could possibly try, and just unfortunately come up short. So, you know, Junior Motorsports 1-2, obviously that's a big deal. You know, Hendrick, Chop, everybody, Chevrolet, all of our partners. I don't know, I'm gonna go back and watch this win a bunch and, you know, try to figure out what I could have done better. But, you know, all in all, just proud of our team, proud of the effort. You know, one of us had to win, right? I mean, we very could have easily wrecked there, and neither one of us won. So we both finished 1-2. It's a good point save for us again, and we'll move on to next week. So again, proud of our team, proud of the effort. Just a little short. So my Lightning play tomorrow night, so I'm going to go to the game down in Tampa. So hopefully maybe one of us wins the weekend.
I do want to address the restart, the contact with Kyle Larson. He described it. He said he was just trying to make a lane for himself. How do you view the contact between the two of you as teammates?
I'm disappointed because he's completely below the pace car, right? So, like, typically in the past, you kind of follow the pace car, and that's just what I was doing. And, I mean, it's his right to go down there. It's my right to stay up there, and we made contact in the middle.
Good points day for Justin Allgaier. 54 points he walks away from with Texas.
Yeah, and he leads 54 laps, wins a stage, 121-point advantage halfway through the regular season, but comes up short to Kyle Larson. Driver 88 wins for the second time this year, his third victory at Texas. Larson leads 93 laps, and for a second straight year, drives that 88 car into victory lane for Junior Motorsports. Full post-race coverage coming up on CW. It's all over for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Texas Motor Speedway. And it's deja vu from a year ago. 88 going to victory lane with Kyle Larson behind the wheel. Led 3 laps today and held off Justin Allgaier to claim his second victory in 2026. Brent Cruz, top 5 again. Show me the money, Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, Adam, for the 4th straight week, you got a top 5, Brent. As you look at today, first time at Texas, what grade would you give yourself on what you were able to do on the racetrack?
You asked me this question at Bristol. I don't remember what I gave myself. I don't know, maybe like a minus, somewhere in there, maybe B plus. I feel like my car was really, really good today, and just want to thank the good Lord above for keeping us safe. The weather was absolutely gorgeous today. Warmed up from yesterday, so it was a little bit tougher in the car, but this Mobil 1 Toyota GR Supra was as fast as it could be. Just needed a little bit there more at the end. Just got a little tight, but other than that, I had a blast there at the end, getting to race, Larson and Allgaier and Sam. I told Sam this the other week, but I grew up watching Sam, the class ahead of me in go-karts, so it's like full circle getting to race against all these guys. But great points day for this team. Want to thank Seth and everybody at Mobil 1. They did such a great job, and ready to keep learning.
Big question is, what does an 18-year-old do with $100,000?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, I don't think my mom or my dad will let me do anything exciting. So I'll see what I can do and see if I can find something cool to spend it on.
Top 5 finish for Brent Cruz.
Most 18-year-olds go to prom on a Saturday night in May. Brent Cruz is going to try to figure out how to spend $100,000.
Yeah, invest it wisely.
Hey, but I want to go to this. The $100,000 is awesome. Great promotion by the folks at O'Reilly who continue to endorse this. We've now given out over $6.7 million over the years. But as you zoom in and you look at Brent Cruz, and you said this during the broadcast, 4 consecutive top 5s when you think about the guys he's been racing with at these tracks, it's remarkable.
If you didn't know who was in that car and didn't know as an 18-year-old, you would think as you watch him at these places that he's never been in this type of racing, that it's an experience, maybe someone who's been in this series for a while, has won races, who executes at a high level, and then you realize it's an 18-year-old who has barely ever done this. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Brent is we've talked about the points, and he missed some of those races and what was going to happen. And I look at this right here. Only 12 points out of the chase. It's not about making the chase now. It's about how high can I get in the chase to go try to race for a championship. Because when you could run in, listen, you run in the top 5 every single week, you're going to start winning some races. And he is a contender every single week at a lot of these different racetracks. He's with a tremendous organization of Joe Gibbs Racing. And that team raced for the championship last year, and I don't think we can count him out yet.
Here's what I would say about him. His strength, we thought coming in, was probably road courses. Yeah. He gets to within 12 of the cut line, and now we're going to Watkins Glen, a place where you feel like he can perform. At the top, plus 121 for Justin Allgaier. Day stays 4th, even though he didn't finish the race today. And Mayer has worked his way into the top 12 after his top 5 finish this afternoon.
He has, and it's been tough races for him, and tough for them to get the points that they need with finishes. So that's important for him to get into the actual chase. Big moves for Sam Mayer on a day they really needed it.
I don't think we can give Allgaier the regular season championship yet. We're not far from it.
Hey, before we go to page 2, last page, Parker Retzlaff up there in the top 10 after a top 5 finish today. And Ryan Sieg only 8 points out.
Yes, but look down behind him and behind Brent Cruz. Raja Cruz falls out, that spin off of turn 2 in these races in the 32 car, which, he's admitted is not quite to the level of what it's like being in an 88 car. He has to do the best he can with those, but falling outside of the chase, he's going to have a lot to make up when he's back in the 88.
Yeah, well, he'll be in the 88 the next 3 weeks.
I'd say, fortunately, the next 3 weeks, he gets to be in that car. And it's hard. We talk about it with Carson Kvapil. Like, you start working with different teams, different crew chiefs, week in, week out. It's hard to build anything.
Let's hear from Parker Retzlaff. Here's Dylan.
Yeah, we saw on that first page that he's 9th in the standings, so jumped up a spot after a really good day. 37 stage points scored today, or 37 points scored today in general with a 5th place finish. You guys just keep clicking off these top 10 runs. How close do you feel like you are to taking that next step in contending for wins?
Yeah, I mean, I think that overall it was a good day on the Fentanyl-Free America Chevrolet, Viking Motorsports. I think that we're pretty close. I think we have some stuff to work on short run to be a little bit better. But overall, I feel like we're getting better, a lot better. This is the best mile-and-a-half car I've ever driven, and I think we're going in the right direction. I think we're showing that week in and week out, and we just got to keep building on it. We know what we need to work on and what we need to be better at. If we're going to be a winning team, and we're just got to keep working on it.
When you made this jump over here to Viking Motorsports, and want to give your teammate Anthony Alfredo his due too, finished 12th. When you made this jump, did you expect to have this kind of speed at this point in the year already, or did you expect it to kind of take a little bit longer?
No, I think I had a lot of trust in the ownership and management of Viking Motorsports, giving us all the tools and supplies we need to run like this. I think me and Danny Eflin both came in the year talking about that we need to be a playoff team, and I think we're showing that we can be a playoff team right now, and I don't think our expectation has changed. I think me and Danny hold each other to a lot higher expectation than people would expect us to, but I think that we knew what we were capable of, and we just got to keep working on it.
Yeah, they're delivering on their own expectations for sure. Great run for Retzloff. He finishes in the 5th spot.
And a 3rd place finish for Sam Mayer. So good news for the fans, dollar cones at Andy's. But as you look at your day, where do you feel like you guys really showed the best of what you have?
Yeah, make sure you go to Andy's on Monday. Dollar cones brought to you by yours truly. So, yeah, just super proud of everybody. We stayed in the game all day, and we never really had track position to show for it, especially to go race for the win. But to come from 9th on that last restart to finish 3rd is really, really cool. Shows that we can keep up with the track and kind of know how to make adjustments right. And, I mean, we just needed a day like this. It's been a rough go, but yeah, I mean, to stay in the game all day and even have a bad day on pit road and still make the most of it on the racetrack is definitely something to be proud of. But huge thanks to the guys at Haas Factory Team, the Hendrick Engine Shop, Gene Haas. This one's a special one to just have a good day and be able to move on to the Glen and be solid in points. And you earned the 3rd most points of the day, which moves you into the chase picture. You mentioned the Glen, you're good there. This actually starts a run of good races for you guys in terms of the track. So how optimistic are you about just building that momentum that you're looking for? Yeah, I mean, these couple tracks coming up, if we just have clean days and finish where our car is really supposed to, we can have a really good run. So hopefully we get in victory lane here at some point. I know there's a couple good tracks for me coming up, so really looking forward to it. But we just got to keep the car on the track and going forward in a straight line, and we'll be all right. Looking forward to it. And quickly, I know it was a win. That was the deal with Andy to get a Custard named after you. Do you think you can convince him that a podium finish deserves it? I'm really going to work hard for it because I've been wanting that for the last couple of years since we've had Andy's on board. They're a great company. They're a great family, great people, and I get along with them really well. So a concrete for me would be much appreciated. Yeah, I heard you're jealous that Cole has one. I am very jealous. It's not fair. He's a big-time Cup guy. That's fine. I'm having a lot of fun here in the O'Reilly Series, but I want to get a concrete named after me for sure.
All due respect to the $1 cone on Monday that Sam Mayer earned all of us, I'm going for a concrete tonight. I'm not waiting till Monday.
I like that
Andy's.
idea.
I'm going to soon make that my dinner, I believe.
Why not?
Skip dinner, go straight for that.
Really good job by Sam Mayer, who finished 3rd. That was your pick, Parker.
It was. Too short.
Good news, your pick finished 3rd. Bad news, McMurray picked Larson, and he won the race. Good day, all our folks in the CW Garage. More coming up from Texas.